Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it, and we water the grass here.
Tell us what it was like being at the dunk last night.
That was the most chaotic environment I've ever been in my life.
Friar Town is Title Town tonight.
Here's Pip, guarded by Gillespie. Steps back, spins, fires. Woo! Pip gets.
Who run shit like me? Top 5 basically. I still play for keeps. Ain't no fantasy. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Divine Providence. This is season 2, episode number 3. And this isn't just any episode. This is the season preview episode with the fellas. We're locked and loaded, ready to go. This is why you play the game. This is why you dust off the computer and get the mic set up and, the whole 9 yards. We're here to talk about a very promising 2025 to 2026 Friars basketball season. It's felt like an eternity. We had a long summer, a lot of ups and downs, some good baseball, some not so good baseball. We had some other things, some sports happen. We had a Section 10 live show. Shout out to Mike Eamon. He was on the mic at the Section 10 live show, emceeing the joint. So we're fired up. Mac, let me kick it over to you first. How are we feeling today?
What's the meme they play at the beginning of the games at the Amp? It's time to play the game. The longest offseason in sports is almost over. I'm crawling out of my skin right now. I'm fired up, ready to run through a brick wall. Let's talk some Friars hoops. I am on cloud 9 right now.
Fellas, I'm fired up. Glad to finally be back with you guys. I just want to say thank you to you guys for coming to support me at the Section 10 live show. You guys were live and in the building. You guys brought the energy. It was an unbelievable night. One of the highest of highs I've had in recent memory, like in my life, to one of the lowest of lows, going to the Bronx and losing 2 in a row, getting absolutely crucified on Twitter by Yankee fans. It was an ugly scene, but the live show was a great time. So shout out to you guys for coming. Shout out to all the Section 10 fans that came out, brought the energy. It was a blast. So I'm excited. Still got some baseball here. Still got playoffs, World Series, but I cannot wait to get this season going.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. I mean, the Section 10 live show, just to go back to that, we came with a nice crew. We brought about 5, 6, 7 people, bada boom, realest guys in the room. And it was just awesome, man. I mean, when you have a podcast like this where you're channeling the passion of fans, right? That's the number one thing that Section 10 has done. And that's what we're trying to do, is really channel that passion and appeal to the diehard, crazy younger fan who's just purely obsessed with the team. And it's admirable what you guys were able to put together on, especially such short notice. For a while it was like, our Sox are going to be in the playoffs. Are they going to? We didn't know if they were going to win the division for a little while. Then they almost didn't make the playoffs. So it was just, with twists and turns, but it all worked out. And it was a really fun time. Sorry, not to ramble about that, but had to give you your flowers.
No, I appreciate it. And we threw it together very last minute, and we got so lucky that it was the Yankees and at 6:00, because if it was, Guardians or someone, it was a 1:00 game. I don't know. It might have been tough to bang that place out, but the chips fell into place, and it was meant to be. And to see everybody out there going crazy, when Massa had the go ahead hit, when they won, have all the guys up there. Dallas was up there. He was great. It was an awesome night.
Yeah, I was trying to say I got showered with beer. I was soaked when Massa hit that go ahead single.
That was absolutely electric. I was at the wild card game back in 2021, and there's no better – listen, win or lose, there's no better sports aura than like Yankees Red Sox. There's like nothing puts buns in seats like Yankees Red Sox. I will go as far as to say, as a baseball fan who's been kind of passively checked out the last 2 or 3 years, Mike Eamon and the Section 10 watch party, how about this? Restored my love for baseball.
That's awesome.
Because that watch party was fucking electric, and there's no better seen in sports than Yankees Red Sox.
No, I agree.
Glad to have you back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always been for me baseball and college basketball. The seasons align so perfectly. I'm a Patriots fan,
Mm-hmm.
but like at the end of the day, the Patriots is something you're just kind of obligated to do on Sundays. Like it's just the Patriots playing every Sunday. I'm not gonna, if they win a Super Bowl, especially because they've won so many. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna get on my knees and bawl my eyes out. But if the Red Sox win a World Series, I mean, God forbid if the Friars ever win a Natty, like, I'm going catatonic and I might, if the Friars win a Natty, I might have to check myself in. So, but like, it's baseball and college basketball. That's passion. That's energy, excitement. That's the climactic sports that, I'm just drawn to. And dude, I love it. We got two very good programs headed in the right direction, PC and the Red Sox.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I am a diehard Pats fan. As you can see, I got my 1996 AFC Championship hat on here. Still riding high from that win on Sunday night. That was unbelievable. So looks like we got some football to watch this winter / fall too. So super pumped about that.
Yeah. So fellas, I mean, where do you want to start? This is obviously the season preview show. So this is a big one. We have a ton to talk about. We already talked about the players. We kind of dissected them a lot. Do you want to go right into the schedule?
I think I want to talk a little bit about the recruits that were on campus and how big this is for the school and for us on a national level here, for people to see, guys like Caleb Holt and Torrey coming on campus. Like Holt could be, a second overall pick in the NBA draft. Like to have this guy on campus is huge. And I want Kim here, but I know a lot of people were talking about how if we don't make the tournament this year, this could be it for Kim. I don't think that's the case. I honestly think if this team were to not make the tournament, which God forbid that doesn't happen, he's too locked in on getting huge names on this campus. Like one of these times it's going to pop. Who knows? It could be Holt. I don't know if he's going anywhere for a while. Like he's clearly resonating with these younger kids. He's getting huge names on campus. I think that's a big deal. I don't know where you guys stand.
I think, Leb, I think you and I had a conversation where I think the general consensus is it's tournament or bust for Kim. He's truly coaching for his job. I think that's kind of the narrative that's going on this offseason. But I think it was you, Leb, that made a good point. I think we're on the way to the watch party where, listen, if Kim lands a Caleb Holt and this is like a bubble team, then it kind of becomes foggy. It's like, all right, well, he's an elite gatherer of talent. Like there's no denying that. So like you said, Mike, it's got to pop sooner or later. So I think then it becomes a little bit of a gray area.
Yeah, I think someone used this analogy. We were talking. It was the kind of Aaron Boone analogy, right? It was like you do just enough to not get fired. There's enough bright spots, and he's doing the right things on a consistent basis. Excuse me, to not get fired. But you're not getting that ultimate goal, which is, for Aaron Boone, a World Series. For the Friars, it's really just kind of getting to, I would say the second weekend of the tournament. First, let's concentrate just on getting to the tournament. But yeah, I mean, if there's a situation where they're the, fifth, sixth team left out of the dance, and like, you said, you're bringing big names on campus, maybe you do have a commitment under your belt, a top 30 commitment, then I think it's a really interesting conversation. I don't think it's black and white. It's definitely not tournament or bust. But if it is no tournament this year, then you got to show me something like more than just hitting the portal hard. He's done well with the portal, kind of swung and missed last year, but it's got to be more than that if there's no tournament.
I agree. And I think he, admitted to some of the stuff that went wrong last year. He's clearly going to change, some of the style of play that they played last year. And he parted ways with guys that just wasn't working out. Nate, what was Nate's last name? Tomlinson.
Yep.
Tomlinson, the strength and conditioning coach he parted ways with, another a coach he parted ways with. You brought in guys with NBA experience, Gomes. You brought in the new strength and conditioning, Sean Brown, which Kim in a presser the other day said, he's been great. The guys are really, really loving Sean Brown and what he's bringing to the table. So he's making the right changes to make this year different than just the horrible season we had last year. And that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. And one thing too, right, going back to Caleb Holt, when you talk about top 10, top 15, top 20 recruits, 2012, we had two huge recruits commit to PC, Ricky Lito and Chris Dunn. One grew up, 2.5 hours down 95. The other grew up, basically in PC's backyard, South Providence. So anyone at PC can recruit locally if there's talent, right? I think that's known. They have a strong local brand. But Caleb Holt traveled 1,000 miles from Alabama. He has to go past Georgetown, UConn, St. John's. He has to go past all these schools to get to PC. So the fact that he's on campus and the fact that he's taking his, recruitment to PC seriously is eye-opening. I mean, this is by far this is the biggest recruit that we've had that's a non-local kid seriously consider our school. So that is eye-opening to me.
Yeah, and what I think is interesting is obviously, when you look at the schools he's looking at, it's Arizona, Houston, Alabama, who else is in Kentucky, all these big brands, and you look at PC. I mean, people from other fan bases have made jokes like, "Oh, one of these things is not like the other," but, yeah, like the fact that we're even in this conversation is impressive, and I think it's a testament to the way Kim recruits. My buddy sent me an article after Caleb Holt's official visit to Providence, and it was an article from, I want to give credit where credit's due, Adam Zagoria. My buddy sent me the link, and he's like, "Oh, this is a nothing burger. This is just like coach speak." But one quote that stood out to me was Zagoria interviewed Caleb Holt's dad, and he said, "We want him to go into a stable situation and a program that's transparent." And from what I've heard is Caleb Holt isn't ready to commit anytime soon. Like, it would be late spring of 2026 when he finally decides where he's going to end up. And the quote of, "We want to make sure he goes into a stable situation," I think goes back to the Kim coaching for his job situation. It's like, okay, well, maybe he is really considering PC. And it's like, all right, let's hold off and make sure that the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. So, I mean, listen, one of these things may not be like the other, but there's reason to be optimistic, as crazy as it sounds.
Well said.
And shout out to the students for understanding what's at hand and having the signs of Caleb Holt Fryer, hanging out of some of the student apartments. Like, that's cool. Like, I love that. Like, shout out to them for understanding. That goes a long way. Like, him seeing that, like, that's cool. And also, obviously, our fans on Twitter, I think, are the best fans in college basketball, but that goes a long way. The Fryer replies to everything. Like, people are seeing this being like, what the hell? Like, what's happening? It's like, no, like, we're fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, for sure. And if you're Caleb Holt, right, and you've been to these college campuses and you've talked to these coaches, John Calipari, Nate Oates, you've gotten the spiel. You've gotten the coach, college basketball coach runaround, right? When you meet Kim, like, you can say whatever you want about Kim, but you cannot call him fake or disingenuous. He's a real-ass dude. And when you talk to him, you get a good feeling. You get a good feeling like, I can understand what he's thinking. I can understand why he wants me in his program. And then you're on Eaton Street and you're seeing all the bed sheets with your name on it. Like, sure, we don't have probably the most money to offer. We don't have the best program to offer. But if you're a top 10 recruit and everyone has been giving you the song and dance of what a top 10 recruit gets, and you leave PC after talking to Kim and Gomes and, the students and seeing your name everywhere, you got to feel okay. You got to feel pretty good. It's got to be a good feeling, So I think there is a chance. Like, it depends on what he prioritizes and what his family prioritizes. And, I mean, hey, he went to campus, therefore we're involved.
and if you come here, you're going to be like a superstar.
Right.
Like he'll be a superstar anywhere else, but you could be another guy on a team full of great players. Like obviously we have a ton of great players, but like you're going to be an absolute rock star here, dude. Like this is it's different here.
It is.
And let's not get it twisted. It's not like PC is some like bottom of the barrel hit, hole in the wall program. Like you're going to be going toe to toe with UConn, St. John. Like these are big. Like it's not like we're playing in the Mountain West and we're asking a top 5 kid to come here,
right?
Or we're not playing in the SoCon. Like there's something to be said about being in these big time matchups. Twice a year, you get the true round robin. So I mean, it may not be the national ESPN exposure that you would get at an SEC school or anything like that, but it's nothing to shake a stick at. Like you're going up against some big names.
No, yeah, and I agree, and I think that with the portal and with the college basketball landscape changing, a lot of these kids are prioritizing playing time year one. If you go into an Alabama or an Arkansas or Kentucky, especially like Kentucky, then there's no guarantee that you're going to be the guy. Where if Caleb Holt does come to PC, he is going to be the guy immediately, and he's going to be given every opportunity to show that he's an NBA player. And if scouts feel like he needs another year, then he can transfer to, a Kentucky or an Alabama or somewhere else where he can play in the SEC. So I think that just the landscape's changing a bit. And I think you see the trickle-down effect with, we just lost a kid to Siena, right? I don't think we lost him to Siena because we're a lesser program than Siena. Obviously, that's not the case. We probably lost him to Siena because he values playing time, especially year one. So you can maybe take a leap year two.
And a lot of this comes down to the money, obviously. I think we all understand that. PC has a pretty solid NIL budget, but, you lose out to Abdu Torre, but you're dealing with Walmart. Nobody's competing with Walmart. I was just there 20 minutes ago. Like, you're not competing with Walmart. So, fine. Here you go, Arkansas. Like, you have Walmart on your side. Congratulations. Like, that sucks, but that's unfortunately the way things are now.
Yeah.
Kind of on the Abdu Torre thing, I saw a lot of people kind of being negative on the outlook of that whole recruitment, kind of like, oh, how do we lose him to Arkansas? Like, I think it's easy to look at Kim, like point fingers at Kim English, like, oh, how'd you lose that recruiting battle? First of all, like, you're going up against two of the best coaches in the country, two of the best coaches of all time in a recruiting battle. And if you're going to lose a recruit to John Calipari, I don't think it's because you did a bad job. He's historically probably the greatest recruiter of all time. So I just wanted to put it in the atmosphere. Like, if you think that's an indictment on Kim English's ability to recruit with the track record that he's built the last 2 years he's been here, bringing in Jameer Jones, bringing in Oswin, bringing in this transfer class of like highly coveted guys, high major guys, Jalen Harrell, then I just don't think you've been paying attention. Like, Kim is an elite recruiter, and I think this was a lightning in a bottle situation where you got outbid by the greatest recruiter of all time, who just so happens to be backed by Walmart.
Yeah, you finished second in a recruiting battle with John Calipari, Dan Hurley, and Kim English. Like I said, we finished second. And how close we were to finishing first. I had heard that we were first the whole time, and then it seemed like it kind of flipped. Kim was at his house 3 days before he committed to Arkansas, so obviously there was something there, and we were very, very close. So yeah, you got beat by Calipari. It is what it is.
You could say Kim beat out Calipari, and then once he realized that they were going to throw an extra $5 million at him, then he said, "Yeah." So
yeah, you just never know.
You could argue that. Like you said, the crystal ball on that recruiting site had us as the leader.
have
And then
us.
last second, it changed. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything for sure. I'm just pulling that out of my ass, but I don't know.
That's another thing. Like, I just want to say publicly, like, shame on 24/7 Sports for putting the crystal ball prediction for Providence the entire week on Abdu Torre. And then at the very last second, you flip it to Arkansas the morning he's committing. When everyone in the Trilly Donovan Discord is aware of what's going on. Like, you pay $7 a month, you could have 100% hit rate on 24/7. You could have the best crystal ball in the world if you just have Trilly Donovan's Discord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The fact that you could just make a prediction and just change it hours before he commits is insane to me.
Yeah, they that's how they keep their conversion rate, so to speak, high. They just change it. You know, we got dealt a shitty hand, but I mean, this is a team that we got Tim Duncan committed here, and we told him that we didn't have any spots. Like we've been through worse, so it is what it is, and we just got to move on. I'm excited about the prospect of other guys in this class, obviously, namely Caleb Holt. We were talking about Mr. Durkak earlier before the show. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be excited about. I don't think this is the nail in the coffin. Obviously, that one hurt because we kind of thought we were going to get them, but I think we're okay.
Yeah, it was. I woke up to my Twitter mentions getting crucified by Yankee fans, and then I found out that Torre wasn't coming here, so it was a pretty bad day. But in the grand scheme of things, it's all right. There's still a chance for Holt. Who knows? Like, again, the kid's one of the best recruits in the whole country, so I'm not going to get my hopes up. But we're in the mix. We're clearly in the mix on solid transfers year after year. So I'm feeling good about the temperature of the program right now.
Yeah, for real, for sure. Mac, anything to add on the Torre front before we move on?
Yeah, we could sit here and get upset about Torre, but in the grand scheme of things, we are less than 4 weeks away from Friars basketball.
Well said.
What do you really have to complain about in life? Your girlfriend's mad at you. Oh, you feel like crap. You haven't been sleeping well. Oh, I spilled milk. Damn, Friars basketball is less than 4 weeks away. I'm ready to run through a mother friggin' wall.
Shit.
Let's go.
My milk.
Let's go.
Damn it.
You could say fuck, it's fine. You can say
Yeah,
fuck.
I know. I just feel like I overdid it with the F-bombs last episode. I want to clean it up.
Overdid it with the spilled milk. That was where you crossed the line, dude. Don't spill milk.
Are you guys going to be at the season ticket holder party at Bally's?
I will be. Yeah, we're working on getting Mac involved as well. So yeah,
more than likely.
I'm looking forward to that. I think Kim's doing a coach's show from there that day as well, from 6 to 7.
Nice.
I think.
Nice.
Is it Wednesday nights now? Because it was Thursday nights the last year or two. Because I think there was one recently, and it was on a Wednesday night, I believe.
I forget what night. I just remember being on campus last year. It was awesome last year. They did a great job. Leb, were you there last year?
No, I was not for that one.
It was awesome. So they let you go into Ruane and like take shots. So I was like, me and my dad were getting shots up in there. All the players were walking around, chopped it up with them. They set up like on the big lawn out there. They set up a bunch of tables. They had a buffet. They had an open bar, beers, whatever. So they did a great job. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this one's going to be like this year.
Yeah, I think maybe they kind of condensed the budget a little bit, and which is fine. Keep the money on the court. Like the Oakland A's, Moneyball, paying for soda. That's fine. If you want to give me less of a party and put it on the court, then I'm all in.
Yeah. I'll just sit at the slot and they bring over the free beers there. Just give a tip.
Exactly.
Or
Well,
if we get Friar slot machines where all the money goes to NIL.
Yeah. That would be sick.
Yeah.
A Friar
Bally's hit my line.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
That's a good idea. No, that's a $1 million idea. That's a Caleb Holt idea. That's a Caleb Holt. That's a program changer.
Yeah.
I mean, you taking advantage of the Rhode Islanders that love to gamble. I mean, you just funnel it into the program. That's just perfect.
That's like those Patriot ones. I see him at Encore, and I'm like, well, I'm going to go play the Patriot slot. Like, this looks fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's attractive. Right. You're like, all right, I can relate to this. It's a sports thing. Like, I'm a sports guy. If I'm going to lose my money, then I'm going to put it in the Patriots slot. Fuck yeah.
I will say I'm definitely saving my gambling money for Mohegan next month. 2 trips to Mohegan next month.
Going to be spending a lot of time down at Mohegan, fellas.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. The Mohegan trip's good. That's exciting. We have a lot of nice road weekend games to talk about. You know, if you're the traveling type, this is a good schedule to travel. We're going to, San Diego, obviously Mohegan, going to Colorado, which is nice. And then you have the Big East slate, which, I mean, how do you not love that? You got Madison Square Garden,
DC,
Midtown Manhattan. You got exactly DC. You got the middle of nowhere, Connecticut. What's not to like?
Land of opportunity, Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah.
I hate giving Georgetown any sort of credit at all, but I have family from DC, and my cousin got married in Georgetown. It was my first time going to the Georgetown neighborhood. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
That might be one of the top neighborhoods in all of America. Like it's really cool. It's really nice.
Yeah. They always, Breaking Bad. I don't know if you guys are Breaking Bad fans, but they're always talking about like Hank, live in Georgetown, whatever. And I just cringe every time I hear it, because the Hoyas. And then I'm watching Boys in the Hood last night, my girlfriend just relaxing, little Ice Cube action.
Yeah.
And, it's just, he's got 3 different Hoya shirts, this kid. Like, what?
So much Georgetown in that movie.
So much. Like, what did they have a deal with Cuba Gooding? Like,
no, I think Georgetown was really, really cool then. Was when Ewing was playing, and it was like a pop culture thing. Like everybody was rocking Georgetown stuff. Like that was cool around that time. But also in the movie, he wanted to go to Georgetown.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the whole, you got both of those things there. So
it's absolutely crazy to me that a program that had Ewing and then Allen Iverson, probably the coolest basketball player of all time. Yeah. Now it's just like I just look at them. It's just like Ed Cooley, just like geeks. It's just like, I don't know. It's just icky to me. Yeah. AI,
Pepperidge Farm remembers when Georgetown was cool.
Who's the coolest player ever? Is it AI?
Coolest basketball player ever? I mean AI. Yeah, AI revolutionized the dribbling aspect of the game, which, completely modernized dribbling. So I would probably, my favorite is Shaq. I think Shaq was like the GOAT. GOAT. Cool though. Yeah, probably AI. Probably AI.
Probably Justin Minaya. Yeah. If I were to put my hat in the ring.
Austin Crozier.
Yeah.
Ray Hall.
Yeah. Fucking hairy ass chest, Ray Hall. Also, what a name, dude, to play for PC. Like, there's that's the name of the dining hall, and it's also like a name of a player on the team. Yeah. Like, that's sick.
I'll never forget a game it was like at Notre Dame, and like he couldn't make a free throw, and they kept fouling him, and it was just like really hard to watch. I felt really bad.
Hack-a-Hall.
Yeah. It was bad.
That's tough.
I before we get going, I want to give a shout out to Frank Carpano. He's the best. I was just watching Kim's media availability, and I just heard Frank asking questions, hearing his voice. I'm just like, you know what? Everything's going to be all right. Like, Frank's here. He's asking questions. I love hearing him on the PA. This guy he's a Providence legend. If you don't know who Frank is, he works for I think it's NBC 10.
NBC 10,
NBC 10, and he also does all the PA at the AMP, and it just makes sense. So shout out to Frank. Another great year for him. And then 2 other Providence guys. Nick Coit, great guy. He covers a lot of Providence basketball. He's leaving ABC 6, as well as Ian Steele, 2 great guys that were in the Providence sports scene for a long time, covered a lot of PC games. They're both no longer with ABC 6, so they will be sorely missed. But yeah, shout out to all the Providence media folks covering the games and giving us all that great coverage all year.
Yeah. Frank's awesome. Frank's awesome on the mic. He has my dream job. So, when eventually his time comes to move on from the mic, I'm a PA guy first.
You have a good
PA.
you have a good voice for that, Leb.
I'm telling you, I would rock the shit out of the public address job. So Nap, if you're listening, when Frank is done, just give me at least an audition, just an audition. I'll just get up on the mic and just see how it goes, And if you don't like it, you don't like it, and if you like it, then we'll talk. We'll talk numbers.
You'll have to compete with Rook too, because
no, I won't, because he's the radio guy, so he can't do.
Well, he does the starting lineups though. So there.
Oh, okay.
There
I don't
could
need
be
to
a
do the
little.
lineup. I don't need to do the lineups. He can keep.
Okay.
Rook can keep the lineups. He's great on the play. I mean, John Rook is one of the best play-by-play announcers. And
Rook's awesome. Him and Hassett, man, freaking love these guys.
We're so lucky to have those guys. That's a professional. That is such a pro level, booth, and we have that on the radio.
So
for
good.
every game, literally every single game. We're so lucky to have that. And John Rook also does an awesome job. He's an awesome public address announcer. He's the PA guy for the Patriots. So he's phenomenal, But he can't do the PA for PC because he does the play-by-play. So.
Right. Well, I was just saying, you would have to argue to see if you were going to do the starting lineups for him, because I know he'll do the lineups and then he'll go right back to the radio, because he does bring some juice when he's announcing names. He does a good job with that.
Yeah, it's juice. No, he that's a staple for PC culture. I think that should stay as long as he wants to do it. I would just do the general public address.
Okay, you'll just be like Jameer
Gabriel Burrow for 3,
shooting 2 shots at the line, 2 shots.
Yeah. Timeout on the floor. Timeout.
Exactly. Timeout on the floor.
That's electric.
Timeout.
Timeout. Georgetown. Place goes
exactly,
nuts.
And then the music.
Oh, yeah.
Timber, maybe a little Kesha. It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
We can do better than that. We need.
I like it.
That's a great timeout after a big run.
Give me Pop Smoke. Give me something that slams.
No,
I don't need Kesha. Out of all the songs,
I'm telling you, that's been a staple at the amp.
Horrible. Horrible.
I'm telling you, dude. There's nothing that gets the Friar faithful pumped up after a big run and a run-stopping timeout. Rick Pitino calls a timeout. The place is jumping, and they throw on a little timber action, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I know. I've heard it, and it's not.
It's unreal.
I'm getting myself pumped. The game is. I need something that's going to hit with some bass, man. Let's go.
I feel like when you rip the stereotypical white girl music, like the Taylor Swift, the Kesha.
Yeah,
it's like almost. Not even like Mike, I know you said before, it's not intimidating, but it's almost like we're not even taking you seriously right now. We're up 12 at the under 8.
Yeah, I like that. I like
we're just
that.
having fun.
I like that. Mike shaking his head. No,
I'll meet in the middle with some EDM. I'll meet in the middle here, but the Taylor Swift Kesha. Come on, this is the Big East, man. Let's go.
All right.
Come on.
I'm cool with Pop Smoke.
The students will come. They're not going to come if we don't play Taylor Swift at the games.
What Pop Smoke? Only Pop Smoke song I know.
Welcome to the Party.
Okay. I don't know that one.
Christopher Walken. I mean, these songs crank, Leb. Next time you're in the whip, pump some Pop Smoke and just try to envision yourself at a timeout, and we're just going nuts.
Little Dior.
Dior. I mean,
Dior never hurt nobody.
Come on, these things crank.
Christopher Walken, man. Todd, you tell that main ocean. Shout out Wedding Crashers.
Where is she? She's still in the house?
Great movie.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys want to get into the schedule here or what?
Yeah, let's get into the sketch.
Let's do it.
Okay. What do we got first? Holy Cross, November 3rd. So, I mean, now this one is a little bit of a friendly rivalry. We have the Holy Cross HCBC, Holy Cross burner community, which is very prominent online, very underrated. It's kind of like the PCBC farm team, when we need maybe a couple extra arms out of the bullpen, we'll call on Holy Cross to kind of like defend us, especially like if we're arguing with like BC, UConn, URI, like that kind of thing. UMass, they have a lot of animosity toward other New England schools. So this is a friendly game, but this is one you got to come out strong. I mean, last year, Central Connecticut, disaster. Game 1, disaster. So you have to strike, and you have to strike fast.
One thing I think is going to be important in this game, and not that I want to just like announce that the sky is falling after one game, but after last year's opening night against Central Connecticut, first of all, keep any live animals away from the building on November 3rd.
Yeah.
No ducks, nothing. Because of how scarred I am from last year's opening night, the writing was on the wall after Central Connecticut took us down to the wire. I think you need to beat the brakes off of Holy Cross to prove a point and be like, listen, there's no doubt we are a good team. We are a functioning team that can play at a high level. So, yeah, give me the Friars by 30.
All right, Friars by 30.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I know nothing about this team at all.
Neither do I.
Have to blow them out of the water. Also, don't forget there are 2 exhibitions as well. You're playing Pittsburgh on October 19th. That's a Sunday at 2:00. They're not going to be great, so you should win that game. Doesn't matter, but it'll be a really good measuring stick. It's going to be the first time they're going to play in a competitive game against a team that isn't their own teammates. And then we'll be able to step in the amp for the first time on Saturday, October 25th, 4:00. We're playing Harvard. So that'll be a fun one. I have new season tickets this year, so it'll be fun to see my new seats. And then Holy Cross on November 3rd. That's a Monday at 7:15. Just got to blow the absolute doors off of them that night.
Yeah.
I will say, I think it's easy to be like, oh, exhibitions don't matter. But I think back to who did they scrimmage last year? Was it UMass at the dunk?
Well, are you talking about scrimmage or are you talking about exhibition game? Because that's two different.
Exhibition. Yeah, exhibition.
Okay. It was
UMass.
Yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of – I'm very anti like overreacting when you have a small sample size, but like thinking back, hindsight's 2020, like the writing was kind of on the wall for like how last season was going to end up going. I remember last year, I've been very outspoken about being anti-West Cardette. The writing was on the wall at during the exhibition games.
Yeah, you're right.
I remember Kim was the building wasn't packed, but you could hear Kim tweaking on West Cardette because he was like pouting. Whether I don't know exactly what it was, I'm not sure, but whether it was playing time or his role or whatever, like. The writing was on the wall with the kind of shared purpose that Kim talked about. And that's what last year's team lacked. So, like, I think it's okay to overreact a little bit. But again, exhibition game, it's not going to count in the wins-loss column. No one's going to look at it when you're talking about your resume in March. But as far as foreshadowing what this team could look like, if you're in the building October 25th, maybe there's some things you could pick up on.
Well, here's the thing that I'll say about the exhibition games, right, is if you're listening to this show right now, there's a good chance you'll probably overreact to whatever you see in the exhibition game. So, like, I mean, I do a pretty good job, I feel like, kind of remaining calm, especially in the early parts of the season. But PC fans are generally not the patient type. So, and we're scarred, like you said, from last year, from West Cardette, from Creased, from, listen, Jabri, I think Jabri gets a little bit of too much of a pass because of the St. John's game, because of the injury, but he was in that group for a very, very long time. So, like, we are scarred from last year, and again, we have a whole basically new team of transfers, but I think the biggest thing is this year is you got guys that play winning basketball. They understand what it means to be part of a Power 5 team that can win. And I think that's the biggest difference. West Cardette was coming from, Chicago State. And I mean, you had Jabri, who was the only really Power 5 transfer. But I mean, Jabri isn't the guy that can really impact the game on all facets, all sides of the ball. he's kind of more of a one-trick pony. Spot-up shooter, that's pretty much it. Creased and Wes are guys where you need them contributing in every aspect of the game, offense, defense, rebounding. In Wes's case, handling the ball. So, there is going to be overreactions for the exhibition games, which, just kind of comes with the territory. I'm fine with it, though.
But yeah, I just think maybe it is a little more me being scarred from last year, but the writing was on the wall. Unfortunately, we just didn't. I feel like in the moment, at least I didn't want to accept that. Oh, we're only beating Central Connecticut State by 1. They're taking us down to the wire. Not because it was a fluke game, but because the team was just not great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just one thing I wanted. That's a pummeling of Holy Cross on November 3rd will make me feel very at ease about this Friars team going forward.
Yeah. Now, next game, right? You go right to the Virginia Tech game, and that's one where that's really you're going to know. You're going to know one way or another. I'm not saying that you're going to know, the highs and the lows of the team, but you're going to have a good idea. If they get their doors blown off, okay, we drastically overestimated this team. If they kill Virginia Tech, could be a top 25 team. We just don't know. Who do we like in that one?
This could be. I like PC in this game, but there's one guy you have to hone in on here. It's Neoklis of Dallas from Greece. This kid was going to go in the NBA draft this year, and he could have been a second-round pick easily, but he chose to go to Virginia Tech. So this is a real NBA player, and will be really great to see us match up against a player of his caliber. I don't know much about the rest of the team, but I've read about this kid, and he's supposed to be unbelievable. There was a video of him on Twitter going to the rack and just cramming. So watch out for this kid. They're definitely going to have a game plan for him. But I do like PC in this game. I think Mohegan will be packed with Friar fans. It should be like a home game, which I'm feeling good about. It's November 8th. It's a Saturday, 4 p.m. game. It's also going to be on Peacock for those not in attendance. But I feel good about that. But watch out for this kid of Dallas. He's nasty.
Yeah, of Dallas is the one kid that's, I think, going to give me nightmares. Any season preview for the ACC I've been watching or listening to, this kid gets mentioned, and unfortunately, this isn't just some buy game for PC. The popular sleeper pick in the ACC is Virginia Tech. A lot of it has to do with Dallas. Like you said, Mike, NBA prospect, 6'9", 215. A lot of people are comparing him to a Yegor Demon, and obviously that's a name that Friartown knows pretty well after last year's game against BYU. Obviously, Demon kind of laid an egg against PC, but the skill set, he was a top 10 pick, and they're saying Dallas is the top European player in college this year. So definitely a guy to look out for. That's a very good point, Mike. And just Virginia Tech as a whole, this isn't a team you can really sleepwalk into Mohegan against.
Right. Yeah. And so there's a little confusion about this game because if you go to Google, it shows it's at Cassell Coliseum. But is this a Mohegan game? No.
Yeah.
I was almost positive it was.
This is the part of the Hall of Fame tip-off. Yeah, because we have 2 games. We play them and we play Penn State.
All right.
Yeah, they play in.
Yeah, it's just
Uncasville.
Yeah.
I guess
I'm on the Providence Athletics site right now.
I must just make a Google error. Yeah. So any time with these games, yeah, it's in. There it is, Mohegan. I see it now. All right, cool. I was thinking maybe they were doing a thing where they were doing a road game first, then going to Mohegan. But with these games, especially these neutral site games against another Power 5 opponent this early in the season, you want to keep the game close. That's the biggest goal. Just keep it close. You don't want to get your doors blown off. I'm not saying that that's a likely possibility, but after last year, we are a little scarred. So yeah, so you got to basically revolve your game plan around one player. I think Kim is pretty good at that. If you go back to the games last year, the opposing team's best player, rarely was the reason we lost. Egor Demon is the perfect example. So yeah, I mean this will be right off the rip. Basically first week of the season going to be just a huge test for this team. I will say my prediction is we win like a 2-3 point game.
We need everyone there. Like if you're on the fence about going, just go. It's going to be fun. We're going to try to do a little meetup. We're going to try to do something at Mohegan. I don't know what for us. We're going to try to figure that out, but we will be at the sports book. Come and hang out with us before. They got cheap beers over there. Have a couple pops with us. We'll head over. We'll hopefully get a dub. We'll go to Krispy Kreme after. We'll get a dozen, and we'll be on our merry way.
Fucking love it. Maybe a little Frank Pepe action. Who knows?
Sure. Frank Pepe's before, and then little sweet treat for after the game. Yeah. Maybe a dozen glaze. You get the vanilla. I mean, the Krispy Kreme, man. God, that's good.
Yeah. When I was, I used to be really big, and then I lost a ton of weight. And when I lost my weight, I used to get like these fucking weird ass cravings, like super fucking weird. Dude, one time I was just craving a crispy dozen at like midnight, and I drove to Uncasville.
Nice.
This is like when I was like not fat at all. I was like 190. Like this is like, I was in good shape, and yeah, just made the trip, crushed it, went home.
Dedication.
I mean, you pop a glaze, they're like Tic Tacs. It's like you're eating nothing. It's crazy.
The best is like, listen, I don't know how long you guys plan on staying out at Mohegan.
I think I'm staying over. I think because my one of my best friends works at Mohegan, so I think we're staying overnight that night. If you guys want to make some plans here.
Listen, I'm all for it. Listen, casino, basketball, bars. You got the club, you got the country bar down there.
Yep.
And then a little Krispy Kreme at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I mean, at the end of the day, what New England does best is pizza, college basketball, and casinos. So, I mean, you get all three of those in one, and then you add in the Krispy Kreme aspect, and it is special. It is special. I'm, for staying over, I'm up in the air due to, health, but if all's green light, then I'm I'll be there.
Yeah. And like you said, like this is just important to get off on the right foot. Like I forget when the Bonnies game was, but that sucked. Like that was one of the worst times I've ever had. Like that was horrible. And me and my friends were staying overnight too. Like that sucked. Like they looked horrible.
Yeah,
that was rough. And I believe that was right at the start of Hopkins sitting out for the rest of the year. No, or was that? I forget the timeline. Was it Paul? He played.
Bryce did not play in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was that the first game where it was like, okay, he's played his last game as a Friar.
No, because because that was non-con, and then he played. Who did he play in the Big East?
He played against DePaul, and he also played against URI after that as well. So he was. That was a game where I was like, all right, he has to play this game, and we were thinking he was going to play, and it was literally warm-ups where he was like, all right, he's warming up, he's going to play. We think he's going to play, and then it was like, no, he's out. Like I got like a text. I was at a wedding. I was at my girlfriend's cousin's wedding. Who this girl actually played for UConn women's, and there was a ton of UConn fans there, and I was just getting my balls busted relentlessly, but. I was like there. I got a text and was like, he's not playing, and so that's when it was like, all right. I was starting to get suspicious then. Like we got to remember, like we had there was a lot of hope for Bryce Hopkins to play, but just that was like the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm. That's in the past. Listen, November 8th, Friars are breaking the Mohegan curse. We're gonna drink 1 million beers. Eat 1 million Krispy Kreme donuts and Frank Pepe slices
coming our way.
A lot of calories don't count on game days, brother.
You're right. You're right.
Very true. So next game we go to is Penn. Now, this is pretty straightforward, right? You're coming off a game against Virginia Tech, not West Virginia. Virginia Tech. You got to win this game, and you got to win it handily. And I think they will. I think this is another, probably blowout situation. So, are the fellows 3-0 after this game, or 2-1?
3-0 for sure.
Okay, Mike.
3-0. I think he'll beat Virginia Tech, but again, we're not going to know anything until that. I think that's why these scrimmages will be pretty interesting to see how these guys mesh. Like, all the teams are new all over the country. Everyone's getting to know each other. No one knows anything yet. Like, we thought this team was going to blow doors last year, and they stunk. I think there's better personnel this year. And in Kim's presser the other day, he said roles will be defined in these coming weeks. So we said whatever we had to say in the last episode about who we think is going to play and what the starting lineup is going to be. That could all be different by, the game one against Holy Cross. So a lot is going to, pan out in these practices coming up in these next couple of weeks. And, we'll see then. I think we'll be 3-0. I like to think we'll be 3-0 by then.
Yeah, I got to agree. But I will say, if we're 2-1 and it was a close loss to Virginia Tech, I'm also okay with that, right? We need to understand this is, you got 11 non-conference games, and you have some decent teams in there, right? So I don't think anyone really is necessarily expecting a sweep. It's if it was all cupcakes, I think we'd naturally be expecting a sweep, but I don't think anyone's expecting that. So, if we're 2-1, it's going to feel like after that Virginia Tech game, if we lose that game, it's going to feel like the sky is falling. But in reality, it's not. We'll be 2-1 going into what's the next one? Colorado?
Yep. And before we go to Colorado, I just wanted to mention something that Jalen Sellers said in his media availability this week. He said, quote, "It's the fastest he's ever seen a team click." And he said the guys are getting to know each other outside of practice. They're really meshing well in practice. I think that's super important. I don't think he would just say that. For him to say it's the fastest he's ever seen a team click, that's a great sign for us.
Yeah, that's very interesting because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. This transfer portal has made it so it's the race to who can come together the fastest. And if you can do that, then you have an advantage. I mean, you saw it last year. Like, the Big East was fucking terrible in non-conference. And that can't happen again. For the league's sake, for, PC's sake, it just cannot happen. So you got to mesh, and you got to mesh fast. Hopefully what Sellers said is correct.
Yeah, like you said, Mike, this team is together, and I think you've heard it from multiple people at this point, like Sellers, whoever, Kim, Corey Floyd. I was texting Corey Floyd's uncle the other day. We'll hear from him later, but we were going back and forth just kind of about the season and
type shit.
He said, my nephew said that everybody likes each other on this team and that there are no egos, which is vital to having a good team. So that's not like coach speak. That's not saying something to sound good in front of microphones. That's just like a nephew talking to his uncle about how that's behind closed doors. There's no need to just like spew BS to your uncle. You know what I mean? Like, this is a team that really buys into each other. They're hanging out outside of practice. Like, this is a team that's bought in. And it's we haven't really seen it on the court yet, but it's refreshing, and it's a nice change of pace from seemingly what took place last year.
Yeah, you got to remember, right? It's a college basketball roster, and it's a small amount of guys. You can't have a team with cliques in a small, group. Now, like, are Stefan Vaaks and Pateras Pennis probably closer friends than maybe some of the other ones because they're from, like, Latvia and Estonia, respectively, which is, basically like Maine and Massachusetts. Like, I'm sure they are, but last year, I felt you had some guys that created some divisiveness, and with that gone, and Corey Floyd leading the team, right? That's the number one thing. Last year, who was the leader? Who was the guy in the locker room? Was it Jaden Pierre? Was it Bryce Hopkins? Was it somebody else? Maybe a Bensley Joseph, but he's a transfer, right? So it's hard. It's like you need an emotional leader. You need someone that can rally the troops, but you also need someone that can lead by example and guide the younger players. Last year didn't have it. You just did not have it.
That team just didn't mesh.
No.
It's just something wasn't right. I don't know if something was going on behind closed doors. Something fell off with that group last year. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, but on the outside looking in, it just something seemed off.
Well, I mean, picture this, right? You have 1 year of college basketball left. You know, your Bensley Joseph, your Wesley Cardette, your Jabri Abdur-Rahim. You come into a situation where, well, you know, the team looks pretty good because you got Bryce Hopkins, who's a 17-7 guy in the Big East, proven. And you got, you know, Jaden Pierre, and you got a decent point guard in Bensley Joseph. And you're like, all right, this is my last year of college basketball. I'm going to make the best of this. All of a sudden, you got a guy who's just sitting to get a better paycheck. You're telling me there's not going to be some animosity there from guys who are, this is their last year of college basketball. They want to win. They want to do something. They want to maybe go to the next level. And now they're in this situation with a team that is missing its best player, you know, because of selfishness. Like, it's gonna ruffle some feathers. Like, you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, right, about Clicks, about Crease, Jaden, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, we're all humans. And if I was in that situation, I'd be fucking pissed, man. Like, I'd be just pissed. Just flat out pissed.
No, well said. Like I said, it's just refreshing because I feel like it was a common theme in years past where it's one team, one heartbeat. Everyone's bought into the same objective. And last year, like, I don't blame anyone for being scarred for last year. I'm scarred from last year. But it's refreshing to seemingly have a team that's all bought in together. They all get along. And listen, you could have all the talent in the world. If you got 5 guys on the court that fucking hate each other, like, it's going to show eventually. You know what I mean? And we got the short end of the stick last year. Like, it was just a team that did not mesh well.
Yeah. All said.
We heading to Boulder?
So I have some my girlfriend has some family out there. Originally, I was actually going to go to that game. But I have a wedding. I'm in a wedding on that day, so cannot go to that game. You know, so yeah. So can't go, but was wanting to go. So that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one, especially for Kim, you know, going back there where he coached with this team.
I'm not going to pretend to know too much about the Colorado roster or team. You know, you do know Nate Tomlinson's there now. You know, familiar. He's back in a familiar place. This is a big one. I know there's talks about, like, it's really only the bye games that are at home this year. But I think having the road game against a Big 12 team, it's going to be big for the resume. So, you talk about the Mohegan games. You got a Big 10 and an ACC team on a neutral site. You got a Big 12 team on the road. If you can stack some wins early on, these games are going to be almost as important as a lot of the Big East schedule. Like, these are big resume builders, not only for the conference, but for your resume come tournament time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, any road game is tough, but I mean, I don't think they're going to be great. Colorado, CBS kind of had them as a bottom feeder here in the Big 12. They got a really good transfer, Barrington Hargis, from UC Riverside, supposed to be able to light it up. So again, I really don't know much about this team, but anytime you go on the road in college basketball, it's tough. So it'll be a tough game, but I also do feel good about this one too for PC.
I do too. A couple reasons. Well, mainly one reason, right? Colorado, this is going to be their 3rd game of the year. The 2 games they play prior to that, cupcakes. So we're already going to have a neutral site game against a Power 5 team under our belts going to Colorado. This is going to be Colorado's first big test, is like, you know, Providence at home. Let's see how they do Providence at home. really like a good opportunity for a team that already kind of has a little bit of, experience under their belt to kind of blindside this team and be like, oh, wow, so this is what it's like to play another Power 5 team. That's not really hard-hitting on-court analysis. I wish I could provide more. I do really like Tad Boyle. I think he's a very, very good coach. He's been there. I mean, he's been there since I feel like it's like 2009 or something like that. The guy's, just part of the program at this point. He is the program at this point. So a lot of respect for him. I think he's a good coach. I just think that I feel really good about this game for a road Power 5 game. I think this is like the best you can feel, about this. Like, I don't know if I could feel better about another Power 5 game on the road.
Bart Torvik right now has the Friars as 1-point favorites, which, I mean, on the road, you're coming off a bad year. You got a lot of unknowns in the transfer portal. So, like, analytically, it's a 1-point game. Anyone have any, any intel on if, any of Dion's kids play on the team?
No.
If not, give me the Friars by 16 in Boulder.
I like it.
Dion. Shadussi's not walking through that door.
It's a Friday night game against Colorado, so could be out and about watching that one. Could be fun.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll be at a wedding, checking the score relentlessly. But the person whose wedding I'm going to is also a big diehard Friar fan. Their family is diehard Friar fans, so I won't be such like a black sheep at this one. Like last year at the
that's huge.
One I was at, we were against St. Bonaventure. I was the only PC fan there. And like my girlfriend's family, they know about like the podcast and everything, and they know I'm like a, just a disgusting, sick PC Friars pervert. So, so they were, razzing me a little bit, like this. I'll be more amongst people. So if there's a loss, like I'll be all right.
Led Zeppelin, known pervert.
Well, no, not pervert.
Friars pervert.
Known Friar basketball pervert. That's my perversion. Not just a regular pervert walking around. I'm one of the less horny guys. That you'll
context is important.
I got it all out of my system. All out of my system.
I will say it kind of works out perfect for you if it's a 9:00 tip. Like, you're on Mountain Time.
Yeah, it's true.
Reception's probably winding down. Maybe there's an after party. Throw it on an old TV screen up there. Like, you're going to be around Friar fans. Who knows?
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's a good point.
Late tip might work in your favor.
Well said, hero. Well said.
The Wildcats, UNH, coming down to Providence, November 18th. It's Tuesday, 7:00.
So the consensus going into this game, UNH game, we're 4-0, right? 4-0.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which means that this one, obviously, we're going to count this as a dub. UNH, 5-0, right?
5-0.
So we hope, but this is our official prediction. So this is what we're publishing on Twitter. So if you have any gripes, go back now. Because once this gets published and, the UConn fans get at it and everything, we're just out there defending ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
but I make a note. I think might be a little bit of rage baiting, but I know I'm going to play a factor in it. When that 31-0 graphic goes up on Twitter, people are going to be pissed. People are going to be in shambles when the Friars go 31-0. I'm just saying.
You can't rage bait with 31-0 because everyone will know that's so egregious. You got to do like 25 and like 6, and then people will be like, dude, fuck you, you're so biased. Like, because like that is still 25 and 6 is still egregious.
Yeah, I mean that's like 3-seed territory.
Right.
I mean, if all goes according to plan, we're going back to Mohegan 5-0. And I mean, you want to talk rowdy here. You go in that against Penn State Saturday, 4:00, November 22nd. This is on True TV for those at home that night. I mean, 5-0 going in there. That could be a good time. I mean, a lot has to go right. I mean, but Penn State, another potential a bottom feeder in the Big Ten. They got a really good freshman, Caden Mingo. He's a guard. He was the number 34 recruit in the 2025 class. He was the highest recruit in the modern era for Penn State. So, I mean, he's going to be a problem. I don't really know much about the rest of the team, but they're not supposed to be, they're not supposed to blow doors this year in the Big Ten. So I like PC again in this one, especially if you come in 5-0, place is going to be lit Saturday at 4. I mean,
yeah, I think first of all, second Mohegan game. The wallet may be down bad.
I know
after November 22nd, but State Penn comes into Connecticut like Torvik has us as 5-point favorites. I think if you take care of Virginia Tech, there's no reason you can't take care of Penn State on a neutral court or State Penn on a neutral court. Like I said, I'm not going to pretend to know much about State Penn. They're a bottom feeder in the Big Ten. But this is a man. If you're talking power conference games in the non-con this year, this is the most manageable of the 5 or so you're going to play. Virginia Tech has its concerns when you play against them. Colorado's obviously on the road. We're going to talk about the MTE, but those are like really quality teams. State Penn feels like the most surefire thing. Like you got to handle business. But obviously with the Mohegan umbrella hanging over us, like you gotta put on for Friartown.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing, I mean, you keep chirping the Penn State fans with the State Penn thing, and I love it. But the only issue is they don't have any basketball fans, so they're not even gonna know. They don't even know that they're not even gonna know that game even takes place. That program, it has so little support for its basketball program. It's absolutely terrible, and it's the exact opposite of PC. It's a big state school in the middle of nowhere that only cares about football, and has had a lot of shady things go down. And we're a small city basketball school, and for that reason, we are going to blow the fucking doors off the Nittany Lions. And Joe Pa knew two things. He knew what was going on with Mr. Sandusky, and he knew that the Providence College Friars are going to blow the doors off the Nittany Lions on November. What's the day? November
22nd.
22nd.
November 22nd. Hashtag Joe Pa knew.
Joe Pa knew. Listen, I didn't even think about the football factor. That's a Saturday in November.
No one's going to – they're not even going to know that game.
Who are they playing that day?
State Penn has Nebraska at home. You will not see it. If you see a single fucking Penn State student at Mohegan Sun on November 22nd, they are out of their minds. They don't have their priorities straight. Listen, pack that damn football stadium. State Penn, that's your biggest game of the year, man. You might have a playoff bid on the line.
What time are they playing that football?
TBD.
Penn State basketball might have a tough time getting the student managers to go to that game instead of the Nebraska game. Like, that's just how it is there. They don't give a shit about basketball. And I hate it because it's like college basketball is my life. Like, it's what gets me up in the morning. And you see, like, Penn State, they got money. Their big state school. Like, they could have a great basketball program. They just don't give a shit.
I think Pennsylvania is like the line of demarcation in the Northeast where it goes from all we care about is college basketball to all we care about is college football.
Yes and no, though, because you go literally maybe, 50 miles west, and you have Ohio, which you have Xavier, Cincinnati. You got Kentucky
Ohio
right
State.
there. You got Ohio State. You got Dayton. That's a college basketball hotbed. It's like that's like college basketball, just sickos. That's like basically North Carolina almost, where they got so many programs in one area where people are just so sick about it. So it's weird. It's like, it's just a dead zone. It's like Villanova, and then that's it. And then it's, the Ohio programs, and then Kentucky, which, Lexington is close to Ohio. So,
yeah, you started talking about Pennsylvania, or you had mentioned Ohio. I thought you were going to go eastern more and kind of go towards Philly, where Nova That's where, basketball matters. It's like somewhere between Philly and Happy Valley. There's like a line. There's like Pennsylvania's cut in the middle, where it's like Pitt and Penn State. That's football. But like Nova, where you get to like South Jersey, Philly area, that's when basketball means more.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well said.
I do fear we could be running into our first loss on Turkey Day.
This is it. I think this is it, personally.
Out in beautiful San Diego, California, a 2:30 tip-off against Wisconsin.
Yep.
I do think that PC will lose that game, but it will then lead to a matchup against old friend Jaden Pierre the next day against TCU. So I think it'll be Wisconsin and Florida and PC TCU, and I think PC beats TCU. Sorry to jump ahead there, but kind of all
that was perfect
together.
No,
can I play insanely naive devil's advocate here?
Sure.
Friars are 4-point dogs per Bart Torvik. I'm just going. This is really what I'm referencing as far as like how close games should be. 4-point dog. Greg Gard's done a great job at Wisconsin. I think when the schedule first came out, I was like, oh yeah, like we own Wisconsin. We beat Wisconsin every time we play. Like at least in the
you play good against Wisconsin.
MTE, Friar fans travel well. I think whether it's Sellers or Edwards, one of these new guys is going to start to find their groove and just take over and light San Diego on fire. That's not to make a California wildfire joke, but Wisconsin goes down. The 7-0 Friars take on the national champs on Black Friday.
Man, it'd be awesome. I mean, it'd be electric. Now, if you're here's my thing. As long as you walk away with one win this tournament, right? I think you're in fine shape. I think that's exactly what, because that would be what we go. So we're 6-0 going into Wisconsin. Say you lose to Wisconsin, you beat Jaden Pierre. You're 7-1, 7-1 after the MT. Now, if you say you beat Wisconsin and you lose to Florida, that's the preferred route. Then you're still 7-1, and at the end of the day, 7-1 with all those teams that you've played, you're looking pretty good. That's pretty solid.
Also, Colorado's far. Okay, so you're flying to Colorado on the 14th, and then you're coming home for a game, and then you're going. I know Mohegan's close, but you're still not in your home arena, and then you got to fly all the way back out to the West Coast to San Diego. I'm not saying that's going to be the reason why you lose, but it is a lot of flying back and forth for us early on in the season here.
Definitely. That's a tough travel schedule. I mean, there's not going to be a sequence like that in this. I mean, maybe in Kim English's tenure at PC, besides maybe, hopefully going from city to city in the NCAA tournament. That usually that travel gets a little fucked up, but like that's brutal, man. That is brutal. And yeah, you're not home. You're Uncasville is not the amp, so I mean, it's gonna be grueling. It'll be interesting. But man, if we can be 6-2 or 7-1 after the MTE, as long as those losses that say we're 6-2, as long as that loss isn't to, Holy Cross, UNH, Penn, then we're okay. I mean, we're in good shape.
Yeah.
I will go as far as to say if the Friars can walk out of San Diego 7-1, listen, for the bit, they're coming out of San Diego 8-0. But if the Friars can walk out of San Diego 7-1, I'm going to plant the flag right now. Kim English is coaching for the Friars in 2027 because it's going to be tough to miss the tournament after starting 7-1 with 3 or 4 wins over power conference opponents. That's a good resume, and it's going to be hard to miss the tournament that way. And we've talked about how Kim's got to make the tournament. Put up or shut up time. It's going to be very hard to miss the tournament with that resume after 8 games.
You just got to hope that the only thing that really, like, if you are in that situation, the only thing that could derail the season is, like an injury, knock on wood, and then like that injury is like turns into someone kind of sandbagging, if you will, which I hope that we've developed some sort of NIL contract structure to deter, players from doing that. I don't know what you could do. I don't know if you have to meet a game requirement, if there's a bonus involved, but like after getting burned with Bryce so bad, you got to have something. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. Like you're in really good shape, and you probably are looking toward the tournament, like which is unbelievable.
I think you have the depth to withstand an injury. Not multiple, but I do think this team has the depth where if someone goes down, I feel good about the depth on this team to get by.
Yeah, it depends on who. If it's Oswin, I feel terrible about that.
Yes. That's a good point.
If it's like Edwards or Sellers, well, you kind of have, you kind of have DeQuan, you got the other whoever else, Edwards or Sellers. If one of those goes down, the opposite. I think Oswin the biggest one, and then Edwards would probably be the second biggest one, just because of the scoring impact.
That would be fucking brutal.
Yeah,
I like Hargrove, but like that would be a lot to ask of him if Oswin were to go down. We'd be in trouble.
Yeah, big trouble.
Come back home, December 2nd. We agree that if we play TCU, we'll win that game, right?
I agree with that, but the official prediction is it lose to Wisconsin?
For me, yeah. I
agree.
Yeah.
Okay. My vote doesn't mean much, but Friars are 7-0 taking on the reigning national champs. We only play TCU if they pull off an insane upset.
It's a
Max
win-win.
got us as the 2007 Patriots. So we're
Listen, someone's got to believe. Someone's got to believe.
Thank
I like
you. Thank God. But
all right.
You come home after a long trip in San Diego on December 2nd. It's a Tuesday at 7:00. We're playing Fairleigh Dickinson. It's got to be a W.
Yep.
Got to be a W.
Bye game at home. If it's not, we got bigger problems.
It's a Tuesday night. I'll see you there. And then December 6th, Saturday, noontime, the in-state rival, the Rhody Rams. That's going to be a W. I think they are going to stink this year.
Not even that. I feel like with revenge on the mind from last year, you're at home. The team is seemingly much better, especially when they go in 9-0 with a number next to their name. Like, obviously, yeah. Listen, Nick Saban said it best this weekend.
We're not 9-0. This is the consent. We have to stay on the consensus. We're not 9-0. We lost.
We're happy with the Big East schedule. It's like, yeah, we're 20-0. Like, I don't know about you.
Yeah, we're in January. Friggin'
going to UConn 1 versus 2.
Mm-hmm. But I think with revenge on the mind, the game usually doesn't mean too much. In years past, it's kind of been pretty lopsided. You or I pulled off the upset last year. But you're at the AMP. I'm not sure the last time you or I won at the AMP. I'd have to go back and fact check it, but tough place to play. Clearly the better team. Friars by 1 million.
This one I honestly could see as actually like one of the like unbelievably not close games. And I hate to say this because I actually like when I was younger, this would be my favorite game. Like before UConn, before whatever, whoever was on Syracuse, whoever was on Pitt, all those. Like I loved the in-state rivalry. I loved, how many kids that I was friends with that were URI fans. And I loved just like talking shit. And I loved how PC, for the most part, dominated the rivalry. But like this rivalry this year sucks. And last year it was okay because, the situation that the program was in. I hate playing at the Ryan Center. I never will sign off on that. If someday I'm making the decisions, which I never will be, we will not be playing at the Ryan Center. But this one I think is going to be just a fucking blowout. Like they are horrible, and I think it's going to be just a a trouncing. Personally.
Yeah, they were picked to finish 12th in the A10 in the coaches poll. Only teams behind them are LaSalle and Fordham. So
yeah.
Speaking of coaches poll, I'm not too tapped into what's going on in Kingston, but are we sure Archie Miller is going to be there?
Yes, we are sure of that because they don't have the money to buy him out.
Fair point. Fair point.
That's the whole thing with their fan base. It's hashtag the buyout.
Okay.
They got that from us. But they're trying to convince. You have to convince the state of Rhode Island at the end of the day to pay this massive buyout. I honestly don't know what it is, but Archie will be there coaching on the sidelines for URI. He's at least got 1 year left. I don't know, how the buyout works after this year or what, but he'll be there for sure.
Yeah, it's looking like a couple million, so probably in the $4 or $5 million range. Listen, I'm not paying taxes on that. Extend Archie Miller.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I mean, if you're or a small state with a small estate, I mean, URI, they don't draw incredibly well for basketball. When they're good, they draw okay, but they're not producing this massive amount of money. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money to buy out Archie Miller. I mean, they didn't think they would be in this situation, begging for a buyout. Archie Miller's, he has a decent enough track record where you think he'd be able to get it done.
Yeah.
But they got money issues, NIL issues. That program's in a tough spot. I feel for URI fans at this point.
They're a football school.
They're a baseball school now.
Well said.
Aren't they going to be playing at Rhode Island FC Stadium football next year? Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Also wanted to give a shout out. I went to my first Rhode Island FC game the other day with some friends. Great product they put out over there.
The footy.
Big footy guy here. No, I'm not at all. But I wanted to go and check it out. The stadium's great. It's really nice. It's super clean. It's right on the river over there. You can literally walk right along the river. They put a bunch of food trucks over there. You're still in the stadium. It was $4 beer night the other night. My friend got great seats for us. They won. It was a great time. It's right in the middle of that neighborhood though. You are in it. And after the game, I feel bad for some of the people that live over there. You're not going anywhere. It was bumper to bumper traffic getting out of there after. And anyone lived over there, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it seems like a good situation over there. I've never been. I've heard really, really good things. But yeah, I mean, it's sports in Rhode Island. I think there's an opening for things like that, more niche sports. We're not afraid of niche sports. I wish we invested in the AAA.
Oh yeah,
minor league stadium. Now it's in Worcester.
Don't get me going on that.
Yeah, me too. I know you big with the documentary and everything, and
the real McCoy on YouTube. If you're a Paw Sox fan, go check it out.
Shout it out.
It was a sad day, but it was good closure on McCoy.
Yeah, and Lou Merloni involved.
Yeah, Lou was great.
It was just sad to see the way, just kind of what it just depressing to see.
Yeah.
McCoy, whatever it was, 4 or 5 years removed from the games taking place there.
It was
rips your heart out.
I guess kids got in there a few nights before us and they snuck into the press box and they just fucked it up. They went crazy. They were throwing chairs through the windows. They were ripping the ceilings out. They did a number on that.
Wow. Yeah, that's sad. The saddest thing is they got robbed of their final season because of COVID.
Yeah,
that's
right.
That was just a terrible end to a long history of so many great players that have come through there, and it's sad. It's definitely missed. I mean, I grew up there, going there. I can still smell it. You can just the smell of that place and just the whole nine. That's where when you're a kid, it's small and intimate enough where you can hear the crack of that bat.
Yep.
And it's it's just that pop. It's the first place you're when you're at Fenway. I went to Fenway so many times as a kid, but it's it's bigger, a lot a lot of people. Doesn't sound the same, but AAA baseball, man, that intimate setting, you hear the crack of that bat. It's just sex.
You can see how hard the guys are throwing. Like you can get close enough to be like, whoa, like this guy's throwing hard. You hear the pop of the mitt. You had, you could fish for the autographs with the milk cartons. It was a great tradition. Get Adele,
awesome.
sit on the lawn, fried dough. Like, core memories.
Did anyone participate in the pitch hit and run at McCoy?
No,
I did not. No, I did not.
That was a core memory for me because it was, you win the town or sectional or whatever it is, and pitch hit and run states is at McCoy, and that was like the coolest thing. Like me and my buddies would go, and it was awesome. So that's like my core memory. But also the, you lower down the buckets with the ball and the marker. That's just like you don't see that at other ballparks.
No, you don't. You certainly don't.
But do we see a win against Brown on December 9th, a Tuesday at 7:30 at the Amica Mutual Pavilion, also on True TV for those watching at home?
If you don't, then the show's over.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck are we doing here?
That's a win.
Dare I say the true Battle of the Ocean State?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, in my time, I've seen 2 losses to Brown, both in attendance for. Yeah. I've only been in attendance for maybe 1 URI loss, so I've actually seen Brown beat PC more than I've seen URI beat PC. Yeah. So that 1 year where it was like the nationally televised game at Brown, that was a disaster.
Bad, man. Real bad.
Which, like, I understand the whole home thing, but I mean, you could throw a rock from like you're in the same city. Just play in the better arena. I don't care if it's... Is that one of the
closest arenas that any college plays all ever? What's closer?
It's a good question.
Well, I mean,
like,
we used to share
right there.
I mean,
we used to share an arena with URI. So, but yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean,
if anyone knows, tweet that at us if you have the info.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like somewhere in Boston, like Harvard. I don't know.
Oh, BCBU is close, but still, you got to go all the way down Comm Ave. Like, you're freaking right there next to Brown.
I think Brown and PC would be closer. Yeah,
I'm not sure
campus wise.
I'm not sure the geography, but like, I mean, you got Xavier, Cincinnati in the same city. You got the little triangle down in North Carolina.
Yeah. BC. Harvard.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, it's certainly not Raleigh and Durham, but like those are 2 different cities. But like Xavier and Cincinnati, it could be Xavier and Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm just spitballing. I actually don't know. They could be on opposite ends of who knows. But yeah, that's a good point, Mike.
All right, so Browns a win. So what are we? 10-1 now?
10-1. What a season.
Yeah.
What a non-con slate for us.
But this is realistic. I don't want to be called a homer.
It is.
Because it's realistic.
I think I genuinely, like, I know I've played the role of super naive, like, let's just play into the bit here, but like, really worst case scenario, it feels like the Friars are 8-3 going into Big East play. Like, that is like really bad, like not really bad, but like you didn't live up to a lot of the expectations, like drop some games you probably should have won. Like, I mean, yeah, I feel like 9-2, 8-3 is probably the most realistic, but 10-1 is totally within reach going into Big East play.
I like what Kim did with the schedule this year, because last year we had so many like high mid majors, and those will sneak up on you.
Yeah.
This year he went either cupcake or major. Like, if I'm going to lose a game, I'm going to lose to a Wisconsin. I'm going to lose to Colorado on the road. I'm going to lose to, I mean, God forbid we lose to Penn State, but I'm going to lose to Penn State, right? That's a Power 5 team. Virginia Tech. I'm not going to lose to St. Bonaventure. I'm not going to lose to fucking Davidson. Like, you got URI. That's the only one, but that's a every year thing, and that to me is a cupcake, at least for this year. So I like it, and I think it has a lot of potential. I am a little scared of maybe like an 8-3. Like, I think that's a little scary, or a 7. God forbid a 7-4. 7-4. I mean, or you're really
7-4 is bad.
You got work to do.
The schedule. Yeah.
March is really in like the way ahead if you're 7-4.
The scheduling you mentioned, I've talked about like what your resume would look like come March, and yeah, Leb, you're right. Like we get cracks at like Davidson and St. Bonaventure and whoever was on the schedule last year. But like I really like the idea of like, yeah, it may be a coin flip game against like a Virginia Tech or a Wisconsin, but yeah, give me a crack at the team that's going to play Purdue on the road later in the year. Give me a crack at the team that's going to go toe-to-toe with John Shire in their own building. Like that, come March, once December hits, we're going to be rooting for Virginia Tech. We're going to be rooting for Wisconsin because of resumes. It's just it builds a better case for you if you can get out 9-2, and you start rooting for those Wisconsins, the Penn States to be like maybe middle of the pack in the Big Ten. That helps your resume 10 times more than even if you were to go 11-0 against all mid majors, low majors. I would take 9-2 with half your schedule being against power conference opponents.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right, let's move on to Butler. This is the Big East schedule now, right? So you open at Butler, and I hate to do it to them, but I think that they're winning this game. Yeah. And I think that, honestly, Butler I don't think is that good. It's a Big East road game, so you can never count it out. But I feel good about this one. Like, this is a perfect way to start Big East play. It's not a cupcake. It's not Seton Hall at home or DePaul at home. But it's, it's not UConn on the road or St. John's on the road. I like PC in this game.
I do as well. I think the one guy that jumps off the page is the Gonzaga transfer, Michael Ajayi.
Yeah, he's someone to worry about for sure.
He was in the draft combine this year. Wasn't great with Gonzaga. Trying it out here with Butler. Besides him, they also bringing back Bizjack. He's fine. Yep. But yeah, no, I feel good about PC in this game.
Yep. Fran McCaffrey's son. Shout out to him, Jack McCaffrey. He's a good player, So he's a freshman. We'll see what happens there. They have some good players.
Yeah.
They got Zuby Ejiofor knockoff, Elabor, Oliogu Elabor.
And this is also a Saturday game. This is 2:00 December 13th on TNT/True TV. I don't know why it has both, but yeah. So Saturday afternoon should be fun. 2:00, first Big East game of the year.
Mac?
I just want to say Corey Floyd was fouled, and Gabriel Oduro is the only reason the Friars didn't beat Butler at Hinkle 2 years ago. That being said, I think PC has the better team. I think Butler might be the biggest wild card in this conference this season. You mentioned Finley Bizjack, Michael Ajayi. Who's the freshman they have coming in? They have some freshman coming in who's supposed to be pretty solid. He might be a guy. His name's losing me right now, but yeah, Butler could be a good team. But when I project the Big East, it's tough to put any other team below them right now. So I think PC starts Big East play 1-0.
You talking about Stink Robinson?
No, hold on one second.
Xavier Stink Robinson.
Let me pull up the old roster.
I don't think you're talking about Bryson Cardinal.
I can't say.
Kaiser? No, he's a sophomore.
Hold on, un segundo. couple drinks deep, Max starts speaking Spanish.
Oh, dude, I thought that was a player on Butler.
Un segundo?
Yeah, I just realized.
I believed it for a second too. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
looking,
fuck it.
I don't
That's the
see
guy's name.
Segundo. I don't. What were you trying to say? Like uno, like 1 second? Is that what you were
Yeah,
trying
1
to say?
second. Yeah.
And that's is that how it is? Un segundo?
Yep.
Okay, I
well,
trust you, man. I don't know any Spanish.
Yeah, Efiosa Oliogu. That's who I was thinking of.
Okay.
Could be a guy. Could be a guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I said is the Ejiofor knockoff. Elabor. His last
Okay.
Oliogu Elabor. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably going to be pretty decent. He's from north of the border.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, I think PC walks in, dog walks him.
Dog walks on the road. First Big East game on
dog
the road.
Walks on the road. I think Jalen Sellers comes out, makes a statement, says, Big East, I'm here. I'm here, Big East.
Jalen Sellers dog walk on the road.
Don't forget about the lefty. Don't forget about the good old lefty. Come in and hang 20 and Hinkle.
All right, man. Hey, that's all right. So we're consensus. It's a W.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go home. First Big East game of the year, Seton Hall.
It's another dub.
Gotta be
Friday,
a dub, right?
December 19th. It's a Friday, 6:30. Gonna have a couple bevs before and after this one. It's gonna be another dub. I mean, we're just racking up the wins right now, fellas.
Racking up the dubs, as Eckersley would say. Gotta have that. Gotta have that.
Unfortunately for Seton Hall, obviously, like in the NIL world, it's no secret that Seton Hall is really not competing NIL wise. Slowly, I don't want to get too crazy, but because Holloway is a good coach, sneaky becoming the new DePaul.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. You know, I think that Seton Hall has the potential, you know, and I think Shaheen is the right guy for the job. I do think that they have NIL issues, but I will say it's not all about the NIL. You got to identify talent, and if you can do that, then there's plenty of guys that Seton Hall, who's a Big East team with no football, can afford. You know, and it's probably going to be maybe a little unconventional. Going to be maybe building through, you know, freshman players a little more, like targeting 2-year guys, mid-major transfers, and developing them like these instantaneous, you know, one and done free agents that like you've seen PC, you know, like really compete for. Jason Edwards, Jalen Sellers, those kinds of guys. I don't think they're going to be on, you know, the Pirates' radar. But that doesn't mean they can't be good. I mean, look at Marquette. What's technically the difference between Marquette and Seton Hall? Marquette said we're not going to build through the portal. They're going to build through, you know, developing players. Seton Hall's going to do the same thing. They're probably going to end up spending the same amount of money. So it's really just about identifying the right, you know, talent and making sure that you have a good coach in place. And I think Shaheen's okay. So I think they'll be all right. I don't know about the new DePaul. I think the new DePaul, if it's anyone, I mean, I hate to say
I don't know. I think Seton Hall's in big trouble, Leb.
Yeah,
I think they're in huge trouble, and I know you know NIL isn't everything, but for a team like them, it might be. I just don't know how they're going to end up getting out of the basement, not being able to add anybody. I like Shaheen. I think Shaheen's a great coach. I think he'd be better off somewhere else where he could get the funding.
But let me ask you this though: why is, say, you know, all right, Marquette, they're picked to finish 4th, 5th in the Big East, right around where we are. You know, Georgetown, they are picked to finish like around where Seton Hall is. That's a school, Georgetown, that has so much money to spend, and they haven't been able to bring in the talent. Seton Hall, lesser money to spend. You know, they're going to struggle bringing in talent, but it's all about identifying the right talent. I mean, if you have money, it doesn't necessarily make you competitive. I mean,
no.
Look at the Mets. You know, so I would say that it's a big help, but you have to have a really good infrastructure in place. Like,
I mean, but he can't get transferred. I mean, Merrimack,
Oh, I see what you're
Elon,
saying.
Pacific. I mean, I don't know.
I see what you mean, Leb, in the sense of like you don't necessarily need money to win. Like we've seen, listen, the previous Friars head coach, we've seen him develop diamond in the rough talent, and they turn into dudes. So I think you can get an under recruited guy. The Marquette comparison is a little iffy to me because I think they are good on the NIL side. Shaka just buys into what he does.
They are good, but they're not really using it.
So here's my thing. If Shaka develops a Royce Parham into an all Big East player this year, and he says, "Oh, I can hop in the portal and go play at, Virginia, another big school, maybe get more money." I think we would have seen that by now, like guys, outperforming at Marquette and then hopping in the portal to go get more money. I think Marquette has the money, and I think Shaka does a good job of developing that talent, building a culture. Whereas at Seton Hall, it's like, okay, well, you don't have the money, so even if you do get a stud,
you can't retain him.
Yeah, it's hard to retain him.
And
I agree.
Marquette, the only team in the Big East to not add anyone from the portal.
The Dabo Sweeney of college basketball.
Which in these days, that's crazy. I actually randomly saw Shaka Smart walking on the street in Miami when I was there this 4th of July. He was like on a run and he had like his Marquette like dry fit long sleeve on. I will go Friars at him.
You were the 4th of July in Miami?
Well, we went on a cruise for my mom's 60th because her birthday is July 1st. So the port was in and out of Miami, and we got back on the 3rd, and we were like, well, we might as well just stick around Miami for the 4th.
Yeah.
We got to get to Bristol for the 4th.
Oh,
yeah,
Mac, you know I used to go to the Bristol 4th of July parade every single year.
Beautiful.
My grandfather is from Bristol, so I have a lot of family that lives in Bristol, and that was like, one of my favorite days of the year. We would go every year up until I was like 15, and I haven't been back since, but I got to get back for a Bristol 4th, man. There's just nothing like it.
Yeah, it is electric. It's electric for sure.
Most patriotic town in the country.
Yep.
Yeah, well said. No, but going back to the NIL thing, right? I wanted to kind of round this out because I think that these schools that have money, that have endless money, I think St. John's is one, right? Arkansas is another. I think that they saw this coming, and I think what they did was they said, well, we need a coach that can still appeal to players. I think that money is being overestimated a little bit. I still think the goal for kids is to, go to college to get a huge paycheck from the NBA. And I think that's why Arkansas hired Calipari. I think that's why St. John's hired Rick Pitino, is because, you have that money, but you need a coach that can still appeal to the players. So, I think Georgetown's a perfect example. All I hear is Georgetown's NIL budget. I mean, they swung and missed on Bryce Hopkins like 3 times, If it was all about money at the end of the day, then they would have a good team this year. I'm not saying they're terrible. I just don't think they're good.
Yeah.
So I think that there's more to it. I think it's a complete package,
Yeah, I think it's a balance, like anything. Calipari is building we talked about it earlier, Calipari is building a great recruiting class this year. If he doesn't develop those guys, he doesn't retain those guys, what does he have to show for it? So I think it's a balance of development, retention, having the funds to bring in these guys that are worth developing. But yeah, I think, is this the home opener? I think the Friars beat them by,
we
18-20.
We wiped the floor with the Pirates, and then January 3rd, it's a Saturday noontime. You head to Madison Square Garden against St. John's, your first matchup with Bryce Hopkins. This is on Big Fox. I might try to get there for this one, January 3rd.
I went last year, and it's honestly, it's awesome. I love it. It's fantastic. If you can go, you go. It's not like quite the buzz of the Big East tournament, so it's not as big of a hassle as like the tournament.
Yeah.
But it's still, dude, MSG is just awesome. It's the best.
I do fear we might take an L this game.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get him back at our place. But I think we might take an L here.
Yep, I agree. This is going to be your first Big East loss.
We've lost too many close games at St. John's. This team is different. Friars by 4. I think you're up 2. St. John's has the ball last possession. I feel like every one of these St. John's games recently has come down to the last shot.
It has.
Missed
That's
a
correct.
shot.
The last 2 last year, it did.
Oswin grabs the board. Intentional foul, couple free throws. Friars win by 4.
So PC wins it on Oswin free throws.
No, not Oswin free throws. Maybe an outlet, but we're up before the foul.
All right, so
maybe
there's an outlet. Okay,
maybe 3.
All
Maybe
right,
it goes
well,
1 or 2.
That's fine. Oswin, by the way, did last year mid-season get some work in with Joe Hassett, and that was well documented. And post the Hassett free throw work, he was actually fucking nails from the line. So, like, he's actually not a bad free throw shooter. He really isn't. I don't know who's going to be the black sheep of the free throw game this year, but there's going to be one. I don't know if it's Hargrove, if it's just one guy when he gets to the line, you're like, fuck. You know? I'm only picking on Hargrove because it's usually a big man, and it's not going to be Oswin because Oswin is a decent free throw shooter now.
I think as much as I like everything else he does, potentially could see Mila getting the yips. I feel like every other wing or guard we've brought in is a pretty solid shooter. If it's not going to be a big man, I think, I don't know. Mila, yeah, Hargrove's a good one, but if Oswin's hitting them consistently, Powell's a good enough shooter. Like, it feels like we are going to have an overall good free throw shooting team compared to what we used to.
I agree. Well said.
Need it. But Patino, I mean, this guy goes all out in the transfer portal. Him and Shaka Smart are on 2 complete opposite ends of the spectrum here. Ian Jackson from UNC, Jason Sinone, Arizona State, Dylan Mitchell, Cincinnati, frickin' Bryce, the frick out of here. I mean, but yeah, no, I mean, he reloaded. I mean, Slick Rick went into the portal, did his thing, went to the Yankee game with the Yankee hat, and is ready for a season. So, hopefully they win this game. But if you put a gun to my head right now, I'm going to have an L here at MSG.
And you know what? That's all right. We got to remember, we are going to lose some games. Losing to St. John's on the road is totally fine. Your goal there is to keep the game close and give your team a chance to win in the final minutes. Like Max said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to win it in the final minutes. I don't agree. I think you are going to lose. I'm not even that high on St. John's this year. Like, I am not a huge fan of the mass amount of personalities. There's one basketball, right? And I think you got a lot of me guys on that team, and Bryce Hopkins, Sannon, I think Ian Jackson's a good player, but he might want to be the guy. Bryce Hopkins might want to be the guy. I don't know.
A lot of mouths to feed for sure.
Yeah.
I think there is an avenue where it could get dysfunctional quick because you did bring a lot of big Ian Jackson, Zuby Ejiofor, Bryce Hopkins, Joe
Zuby. I forgot about Zuby.
Like,
that team is loaded, but that doesn't mean much. Really doesn't mean much.
Then you bring in the fact where, Rick Pitino in an interview earlier this offseason said, there's no such thing as a point guard anymore, which is just factually not true. That's just wrong.
I know, but I hate to say we're kind of in the same boat. So
what? Yeah, fair point. But I feel like you go out and say that, it's like, okay, well, you're just kind of like hedging your bet here. Ian Jackson's probably going to be the pseudo point guard, but like, I don't know. Like you said, too many mouths to feed. Like, on paper, great team, but I can see it get. If you told me it gets dysfunctional quick, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, if you truly believe that, Rick, then please have Bryce Hopkins bring the ball up against DeQuan Davis because that'll be a very quick 2 points for BC. So, yeah.
And January 7th. It's a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Our good friends from Connecticut will be at the Amica Mutual Pavilion. You can watch that one on Peacock. So hopefully you sign up for your Peacock subscription, or you won't be watching some basketball this season. I just can't sit here and say that we're going to lose to UConn at home. So we're going to win this game. Gotta get them at our place. Just have to. Their fans come into the amp. They talk a lot of shit, man.
A lot of shit.
Can't have it this year. Gotta pick up this dub. I wish this game was on a Saturday.
I know.
And also, which I think sucks, I don't think the freaking students are going to be there for this one, right?
Of course. Well, of course not. Dan Hurley's in town. Why would the students be there?
Like what? Like you're killing me here. Like no students for a couple of these games. Like that's tough, man. When do they come back? Like break is long.
But you know what? We also got the benefit of that against St. John's and probably Xavier too. January 10th. I mean, I don't think students are back January 10th, but I mean, this game, I think PC could win this game. I don't know if I like them more in this game than the St. John's game. I think that this game will be a situation where you just got to keep it close. You know, these PC UConn games are so dirty and mucky and gross. It's just like it's basically like just a fight. And it's like the refs end up taking control. And then once the refs take control, that's when UConn makes their run. Happens every time. It literally happened last year at UConn. PC should have won that game at UConn. They were dominating the game. They controlled the game for 36 minutes. And it was that would have been the turning point of the season. No, and they didn't even have Bryce. It was just, Wes Cardette and Jaden Pierre just playing fucking ball. And then refs took over. And they didn't give the game to UConn, but it's like it changes the whole pace of the game. And they're calling every single foul. So I know, January 7th, Mac might be a little bit tired from celebrating January 6th the day before. So, we'll see if he's in the building. But I don't hate PC here. I'll say PCW. Give me the W.
And this is a tough back-to-back here. St. John's, UConn back-to-back is tough, man.
Right.
Two things. Lev, you mentioned the game getting mucked up a little bit. Actually, first of all, I want to mention January 6th is actually my dog's birthday.
Okay, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, we're gonna be having some treats for Bama,
How about Friars? Bama. How about treats for
it wasn't my choice.
I
wanted to name the goddamn dog Carter.
That's good. Pretty sick.
Anyway, you mentioned mucking it up in those games. I don't know if 2 years ago, even the game at UConn, I think the game lasted 3.5 hours because there were probably 45 total fouls called. Like usually in rivalry games, you think to swallow the whistle, but it's like, all right, well, this one, it's clearly going to get physical. Old school Big East matchup. And for some reason, both ways, I don't want to be like, oh, UConn always gets the whistle, but both ways. I mean, it's a slow game because the refs kind of dictate it.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks. Keep if you can control the pace, you got a chance.
What are we at right now going into the Xavier game in Ohio, January 10th, Saturday, 4 o'clock, FS1? What's our record looking like right now?
So
14-0.
Are we saying W UConn or no?
I'm saying W UConn. I can't say that we're going to lose that game at home. It just wouldn't be right. I wouldn't be able to go to bed.
I'll say W UConn as well.
I also think, if it plays out how I'm saying, that's going to be a top 20 matchup. You're going to have every big media outlet, all eyes on that game. Middle of the week, top 20 conference matchup in the mecca of college basketball.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has potential to be one of those games with a little bit of sauce. We haven't seen it in UConn Providence in a couple years, but that game could have some sauce.
Mac, if it plays out how you're picturing it, then we're going to be eating at the fucking Capitol Grill every night because our numbers are going to go through the roof.
Hey, let me book my reservation now. The 13-0 Friars dog walk Dan Hurley by 30.
Come on.
No, all
All right,
right,
we gotta have
no,
some
yeah, no. Yeah,
level
let me,
of integrity
yeah,
here.
let me settle down a little bit.
All
But
right. No, so what's the record though? Seriously,
Is
we
that
lost to St. John's. We lost to
we lost to Wisconsin?
yeah.
Is that 12-2?
Now you go on the road to Xavier, and this one I'm gonna say PC takes an L here. PC takes an L at Xavier. It's a tough game. Xavier's not the best, but still a road game in the Big East, and you got to lose some.
oh, I gotta stick with my guns here. PC wins, but I will give it a caveat. Cintas Center is a tough place to play. Patino's another wild card. First year, who knows what he could be. I personally have Xavier finishing pretty low in the Big East, but that's a tough place to play, and you play to win the game. So tough environment, but I think the Friars come out.
Mike?
This is tough. Saturday, January 10th, 4 o'clock, FS1, Cintas Center.
You're the decider. You're the tiebreaker.
If we want to be a good team, like we're saying right now, you win this game after two really tough games. They could easily lost to, St. John's and UConn. You can't lose 3 in a row, even though we have them beating UConn. I'm saying you're going to win this game against Xavier. I think Richard Pitino is a good coach, but I think we're a better team than Xavier. I think they're going to finish around the bottom of the pack. If you want to be a good team, you got to go and win games like this. I'm going to say win.
Okay. January 13th, Villanova. What do we got?
That's a win.
Okay.
I
I'm going to say win as well. This is a home game against Villanova.
I gotta roll with. Listen, PC's what 16-0 at this point, 17-0 at this point. But
if you pick him to lose this game over,
Wisconsin,
St. John's on the road, Wisconsin neutral site, then that's crazy.
No, in all seriousness, I got the Friars winning. I do think Villanova could surprise a lot of people this year. I think you're used to the Kyle Neptune era at this point. I think Kevin Willard's legit. I think a Caden Lewis is for real. You bring in some good transfers, unproven guys from like mid-major level, but Villanova's a sneaky team to watch out for this year, but Friars win.
I like Lewis, but this is a very winnable game.
And I don't think the students are going to be back either for that, right? Or am I wrong? January 13th?
13th? I don't know. That's cutting it real close.
So that kind of sucks.
January 16th. Home, Creighton. A long history of playing well against Creighton. I'm also going to take the Friars in a W here.
Mac?
Listen, McDermott is a great coach. Greg McDermott is a great coach. You bring in some great transfers from Iowa. Owen Freeman already dealing with some injury problems. Greg McDermott notably has piss running down his leg in the Amica Mutual Pavilion. Friars win.
Yeah, the more I think about it, we're not losing a Friday night game against Creighton at home. What am I fucking crazy? 6:30 on a Friday. Let's fucking go.
I think this Creighton team is better than PC. I know maybe Mike said, maybe PC can finish above Creighton. I think that's a possibility. I think Creighton's better, but I think this game, their PC is going to win this game for sure. Road Marquette. I'll get this out of the way. I might not even watch this game. Road Marquette is basically my least favorite words in sports. My least favorite words in sports is at Marquette.
Yeah.
So this is a loss for sure.
I agree. Monday night, January 19th, 6 p.m. FS1 Pfizer Forum.
Oh, it's gonna get dark at 5.
Yeah,
you got Marquette
night for us. Hopefully we can have a good dinner.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 14-2, and it's like you just want to get the boys on the plane and just go home. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Tough losing streak at Marquette. Like Leb said, like that. Those are two brutal words to hear as a Friar fan. At Marquette, tough losing streak. But streaks are meant to be broken. This team is flat out better on paper than Marquette. You walk in their building, take over their building. Friars.
All right. Then you got the big man coming in January 24th. I don't even think we need to talk about this one.
Hold
This is a
that
consensus.
L, brother.
Yeah.
Hold that L.
Fourth Saturday in January. I will say, bit of a tradition. Budding. It's been the fourth Saturday in January every year since Kim English took over, since this new regime started. I like this tradition. The energy in the building is unmatched every year. It's a top 10. Like, as long as Cooley's at Georgetown, this is going to be a top 10 game. Maybe not the
Nationally.
country.
No,
Maybe
I say that.
maybe nationally. But
If
yeah,
the
probably
Big East marketed it right, then it would be.
Fourth Saturday in January, man. Market it right. This is hatred. This is Big East hatred. This is what the conference was founded on.
Why do we keep getting this game at 12:30? They're cowards. Like, give me 4:00. Are they really that scared of what people are going to do? Like, I know we're insane, but it's like, really? Like, is there a better game on? Like, put us in prime time. What are we doing?
I will say this is when conference games start heating up. I know UConn I'm not sure if it's this weekend, but UConn St. John's is like a big later in the season matchup. You know, nationally, there's probably going to be some like an Alabama Auburn or Purdue Illinois, like some of these matchups with juice. But I think a lot of it has to do with the stigma around like, oh, what if they get too drunk? They've been drinking all day. They'll throw cans. To my knowledge, that hasn't happened in a couple of years. It's an irrational fear. But fourth Saturday in January at high noon, I like the tradition. Lean into tradition.
All right, fine. I'll see you guys.
Don't get Matt St. Queen's laptop wet.
Well said.
Next one. PC UConn at UConn. Loss.
I have an L here.
I went to gamble last year, though. Very, very nice place. Highly recommend you go. No concourse. Nothing for miles. Just basketball. Great place.
This might be a top 10 matchup at this point.
If you're the one deciding, this is 2 versus 3. So
yeah.
PC at Villanova.
I got to roll with the Friars.
Is Villanova or UConn?
He's saying
yes.
We're going to win at UConn.
Yes. All right. All right. So
Friday
Mike,
night Nova. I like
you got
us.
lost UConn though, so that one's a consensus L. The UConn.
Consensus L.
All right. Friday night Nova. I'll say this is a W. I say we sweep Nova.
Yeah, I feel good about that. January 30th, 7 p.m. FS1. I got the Friars taking a win here.
All right, Mac. I don't even think we have to ask you.
Yeah. I mean, bring the Bulldogs out back. Take care of them. Friars by 1 million.
Oh, you're on to Butler now. Okay,
you're on to Butler all of a sudden. No,
right,
we're
already said.
Oh,
all right.
Sorry.
Villanova.
No, you're good. You're good. So Villanova's a W.
That's a W.
Yeah.
Now we got Butler, and I agree. This is also a W. I think we sweep Butler as well.
Yeah. February 4th. This is a Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on Peacock. It's a dub.
Well said.
What do we think about the Peacock games?
I was just saying, it kind of sucks. I mean, I feel bad for older Friar fans who, might have an issue getting Peacock. It's like the Apple TV stuff for Red Sox. It's like it was a clinching game for us, for the Sox that was on Apple TV. There's probably so many lifelong fans that weren't even able to watch that game. And I feel like, not to that same extent, but that's just the way TV and streaming is these days. So there's nothing we could do about it. But yeah, that's why I said, people, you're going to want to have to sign up for Peacock now, so you're not caught with your pants down come game time, and then you're screwed.
I might have a little controversial of a take. I'm a pre-existing Peacock subscriber.
Wow, one of 3.
That Peacock score bug, or NBC score bug, I guess.
It's nice.
It's got some juice. I'm a slut for a good score bug, and that thing's got some juice.
Yeah, I can't say anything too bad because you got John Fanta involved in that production now.
Yeah, yep.
The product's
And,
great.
I will say this as a Fubo guy, someone who uses Fubo and not cable. Fubo doesn't get, I want to say it's TNT and True TV. I want to say so. Some of those games I also don't get TBS, which is not a problem for college basketball, only in the tournament. But it's a problem for the NBA sometimes, MLB postseason. So the idea of Peacock for that, small of an amount subscription wise, I don't really hate it that much. I'd like to hate on it more. The Apple TV thing with baseball, that's a different story. Especially getting robbed of the call on Nesson. That kind of bothered me a little bit. But Apple TV did get better though. I will say in 2022 it was a disaster. It was a disaster. Like they had this girl who was just in it for the vibes as the play-by-play, and it was just fucking horrible. But now it's okay. So, all right, we got moving along here. We got DePaul PC. This is a win. This is at PC.
February 7th, Saturday, 4 o'clock, FS1. I got a win here.
Leb, I don't know about this one.
Uh-oh. What?
DePaul at home. We were at that game together last year. That was...
Yeah, we were.
I was there too. That was dark times, man.
Tough one to watch.
Yeah, that was rock bottom.
Mm-hmm. I remember we were walking out of the arena, and I clear as day remember saying, "This is rock bottom."
Yeah,
DePaul's going to be good this year. I think DePaul can compete. Maybe not for a tournament bid, but they're going to be in the thick of it. Maybe shuffling around in the middle of the Big East. Friars by 20.
All right. That's a win. Now this next one here, I'm gonna say I'm gonna put these games in a pair. Seton Hall and St. John's. At Seton Hall and home, Valentine's Day, St. John's. And the reason I'm doing that is because there is no better tradition in Providence College basketball history than fucking losing to Seton Hall and then beating the best team in the conference the very next game. So that's exactly what's going to happen here. PC's going to lose to Seton Hall on the road. This is a trap game all day. You got St. John's coming in on Valentine's Day. It's on the horizon. I think you lose to Seton Hall, but I think you beat St. John's. I don't know how you guys feel about that. That's my prediction.
Seton Hall is chips. I just can't see. I just can't see them losing to Seton Hall. Can't.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I also said that the last 7 times they've lost to Seton Hall. So, except when they had Willard, I guess. But other than that, I mean, they will lose to some bad teams. I will say that they will. They always do.
I got to agree with Mike. Seton Hall is dog shit. Chopped chicken. However, I do agree with you, Leb, in the sense that this is kind of a look-ahead spot. What's on the line when St. John's comes to town. You know what the energy is going to be like. Could be a look-ahead spot. I think the Friars will go in as double-digit favorites. Maybe Seton Hall covers, but they don't win.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think you guys are forgetting all of the intangibles. This is a Wednesday night game in Newark, New Jersey. In the beginning of February, the coldest time of the year. It's dark. It's freezing. There's snow. And you got St. John's 1 o'clock game on a Saturday. Bryce Hopkins coming back to town. Rick Pitino coming into town. All these players, Sannon. And, you got to go play in Newark, New Jersey at 7:30 on a Wednesday night before you play St.
Maybe they need us. Maybe they need us out there at the Prudential Center that night. We take a little road trip.
I would love to.
Going.
I would love to. Yeah, I'd love to.
Go kick it with Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some content.
Definitely. All right. So what do you guys think about St. John's? I go win. Mac, I think you're probably going to win.
What makes you say that?
Valentine's Day. Saturday, 1:00. It's a day of love, and we're gonna show Bryce all the love in the world. He's gonna get a lot of love from the Friar fans.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be a rowdy crowd. Friars take the dub.
this is going to be similar to the Ed Cooley game. I think what someone made a good point, and I think it might drive up the ticket prices come February. As a like the Ed Cooley game, we'll get every year as long as he is the head coach of the Hoyas. The Bryce Hopkins game, the homecoming, the warm welcome that all of Providence is going to give him on Valentine's Day. This is only going to happen once. Like, the energy in this building, I think, is going to be unreal. You're not going to be able to hear yourself think. Slick Rick is going to have his reservation down the street at Foxy Lady, and Friars win a very tight one. I think it's going to be one of the better Friar games in recent memory.
I love it. I love it. I love the picture. You know, it's I agree. I think they're going to win this game. I do think they're going to win this game. I think that, you know, this is going to be a perfect little date night. You know, after the game, you go on a little date night, Federal Hill, and you're either, you know, crying into your pink vodka, or you're doing shots with the bartender. So yeah, it could be an unbelievable night. Unbelievable night.
Yeah.
Anyways, DePaul. Next game, DePaul. At DePaul. I'll say dub too.
Tough one. Don't look past DePaul.
No, not at DePaul. Not at DePaul. Don't look past
Especially
anyone
at
on the road. On the road, these games, man, I mean, there's no such thing as a bye game on the road in the Big East.
Mm-hmm.
None.
It's a Saturday, 8 p.m., February 21st.
Ooh. It's got a little bit of juice to it. Well, DePaul could be fighting for positioning in the Big East tournament late February. Friars are going to be fighting for a 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Truth bomb.
So, yeah, could have a little juice to it. 8 p.m. in Chicago. Friars win, though.
All right. Home, Xavier.
I got a surprise here for you fellas. I think Richard might come in here and take a dub. And Richard, actually, he was on a podcast recently. I saw a clip today, and he said that Providence is the most hostile crowd to play in all of college basketball or the Big East. I forgot exactly what that was. But there's going to be a slip up here at home. I think this might be it. It's February 24th. It's a Tuesday at 7:30. I think they might lose this one.
Okay. So, Mike, you're going L. I'm going to say they pull out the dub here. So it comes down to Mac.
I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this, but in years past, I feel like it's always the Xavier game. The Friars just fall apart at home. And you look up and it's like, what the hell happened? How did this game get away from us? More times than not, you go into the game feeling like the Friars have a better team on paper. That being said, I think Xavier has a down year. So, Friars, place is going to be rocking. Get right game, and you got 2 big matchups right after.
Okay. I like it. So, we're going dub for that game then. Consensus is dub.
W.
All right. At Creighton, I'll start. Loss.
I'm gonna say a loss as well. February 28th. It's a Saturday, 5:30 p.m. True TV, Omaha, Nebraska. They got a couple transfers from Iowa that can just light it up. I think we're taking L here.
All right. So it doesn't matter. This is officially a loss, but Mac, I'd like to hear your thoughts either way.
You guys ready for this one?
I think we are.
In all seriousness, I think this game could be huge as far as positioning in the Big East tournament. A couple teams that are probably being considered around the 3-4 spot in preseason rankings. Unfortunately, at this point in the year, Creighton gets the advantage of home court. I I think Greg McDermott is one of the most underrated coaches in the country. And if Owen Freeman and Josh Dix are healthy, that spells trouble. If Jackson McAndrews turns into a guy, it spells trouble. Friars lose their first game of the year in late February in Middle America.
Wow. What a run.
It was a great run.
What a run it was.
So where are we at? Because I think we're at 13 wins right now. No, I think we're at 14 wins right now after the Xavier win. I think that puts us at 14 Big East wins.
Yeah, we have a Creighton loss, we have a UConn loss, a Marquette loss, and a St. John's loss in a Wisconsin. So that's 5 losses we have.
And we have Wisconsin's. I'm talking about just the Big East. But yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking overall, so we can have that overall number here. Let me see.
Fucking 5 losses so far.
So 14-4 in Big East play right now with Marquette and Georgetown to wrap it up.
I actually genuinely have them losing the last 2 games, and I'm not just saying that because we have so many wins. I think that this Marquette game is the game what you're saying about Creighton with the positioning. It's this one with Marquette, and it's like we need this game to jump Marquette, and I think we lose. And I think that we finish below Marquette. Or no, I don't think – no, I can't say that because no. That's not how I see the
I
standings.
think we play good against Marquette at home.
We do.
Agreed.
No, we do. I still have them losing this game.
I think I'm going to have them winning this game. I feel good. March 4th, Wednesday, 7 p.m. This is on Peacock as well. I just feel like I've had so many fun times against Marquette at home. I don't know. I feel like let's keep the good times rolling here, fellas.
I think the general consensus on Marquette is like, all right, if like this team could hold their own, could be legit, but also like you're opening Pandora's box. You haven't used the portal in however long. It could be a shit show. Like not using the portal might catch up to you this year. I think Marquette could be a good team. I think Marquette could be a bad team. I do not see a single scenario where Marquette is a great team, and I think for Shaka Smart to come into the dunk and take a win, you need a great team. You need an alpha dog like a Cam Jones. Tyler Kolek didn't win there, but like you need a guy like that with some juice. I don't see a scenario where Marquette has a great team this year. So yeah, I like the Friars at the Amp.
Okay. And I think that this Georgetown game, my issue with this game is I think that they're just going to be looking toward the Big East tournament, kind of just trying to get the schedule done with. I don't know if there's going to have that many implications with this game. I have a feeling like we almost might be like set in our place for the Big East standings. So all this would just be like seeding for the tournament, not the Big East tournament, like NCAA tournament. And I genuinely feel like they lose this game. I feel like at Georgetown, this might be the one where crowd is into it a little bit, So I feel like I'll say they lose.
The 2 best words in sports. He said he was going to be there last episode. The 2 best words in sports. Mike Eamon. The Mike Eamon effect in D.C. Ed Cooley will be shaking in his boots, pissing down his leg, crying all the way home. I genuinely think the Friars have taken over this building before. Why not now? Why not if the team's rocking? It's a pseudo home game.
March 7th, Saturday, 8 p.m. I can't in my heart of hearts say that Ed Cooley is going to beat my favorite basketball team. So let's end the season on a high note. Take the dub. Let's get drinks in Georgetown after. Let's have a Saturday night. Friars win.
All right. So what do we got for the season now? What's the tally?
It's a heck of a season, I'll tell you that.
A heck of a season for the boys. Heck of a season. I don't think it's that far-fetched if you go through game by game. Like, I think that there's going to be – the one thing I will say that we probably, didn't account for is I think we were on to it with the Xavier home game, is there's going to be some just disappointments. There is just going to be some disappointments. And that's just how the cookie crumbles with the Providence College Friars. It's always been like that. It's always going to be like that. But they need that sometimes. They need that like look in the mirror loss, that like, okay, we're getting complacent. Let's ramp it up and let's, go beat St. John's at home. So I think that's the only thing we're missing. Other than that, I think that this is fairly realistic.
Obviously, I have the Friars going 30-1. Hats off to Greg McDermott for taking us down in that one game. But in all,
you had us losing. So you got 30-2 or 29-2, Florida and at Creighton.
Oh no! We take down the national champs.
Oh, we beat Florida. Okay, we beat the national champs. Okay, sorry, I'm sorry.
No, but in all likelihood, we talked about 9-2 in the non-con. You feel real good, and if you want to battle for positioning, where you probably end up leaving no doubt, 12 wins is probably the number to hit in the Big East. I forget how many Xavier won last year.
So.
What's that?
We got like 15 or 16 here, so I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, but like in all likelihood, like 21 and 10, you feel good about your chances. And like I think whether we like it or not, the overarching theme is like, do we make the tournament or not? Because this program is probably going to get a facelift if we're not playing in March this year. And that's the fact of the matter. So I think 21 is the magic number. Not all wins are created equally, but you got some good opportunities to get some good quality wins with the Big East schedule and the non-con the way it looks right now.
Agreed. Well said. All right. So what do we do in the Big East tournament? I say, actually, no. Let's start, Mike. Let's start with you. What do we do in the Big East tournament?
I think they lose in the semis. I don't know who that's against, but I think you make it pretty far. But I think we'll end up losing in the semis.
Okay. Mac?
The way I project the Big East standings to play out, I think Providence gets the 3 or 4 seed. If you get the 3 seed, I feel good. You can make a run to the championship game. And if you get to the championship game, anything can happen. It's 40 minutes. The 4-5 matchup, I feel like, has always given us problems. So, listen, I'm going to stick with the pit. Your 2026 national Big East champions are the Providence College Friars. I'm planting the flag now in all seriousness. I think this team is good enough to win either the conference tournament or the conference regular season. You play the games. You don't not play the games because of what's on paper.
You play to win the game.
You play to win the game. I think if everything breaks right, this team has the capacity to win a Big East championship. I'm going to plant the flag because I want to be the first one to plant the motherfucking flag. 2026 Big East champs.
I like it. I'll say lose in the finals. I say we lose in the finals, and it'll be a finals for the ages. And I mean, if you're playing in the finals in the Big East tournament, God, that's a fucking thrill, man. That is a thrill.
I'll be dropping 700-800 to get into that fucking game.
Easily.
Something
Easily.
stupid.
It's the same feeling of October playoff baseball. It's the same exact feeling. It's the only thing. It's just so special. It's like you feel it through your whole body, and you're like, you're just levitating the whole day waiting for the game. You're like, helping the old lady cross the street. You're trying to build up all the good karma. You're, grocery shopping isn't an issue. You're not even like pissed off that you're in fucking Shaw's. Like, it's just, you're just floating. It's just the absolute best. It's just the absolute best. October playoff baseball and Big East tournament, like when you're in the advanced stages, and then obviously the NCAA tournament, that's more like stress, anxiety, like you don't know what to expect. It's like, you're just crazy. But yeah, I think losing the finals, and that would be just such a joy, such a great thing to make it to the Saturday.
I plan on losing my Big East tournament virginity this year.
And your regular virginity too, right?
Listen, I've never been to the Big East tournament. I'm pissed I didn't go, back in 2022. But I do think this team has the sauce to do it. And if it's a top four seed in the Big East, I'm clearing my plans. That is my only priority. I didn't go last year because March Madness was in Providence, but like this is like my only priority this year is to get to Madison Square Garden the second week of March.
Was it 2021 when we got our doors blown off by Creighton?
22.
22? Okay, that's the year I went and paid stupid money just to get in the door last minute. I don't even know what it was. And we got cranked. And then after it, I think the next game was UConn Villanova, and they were all coming in. We were walking out. It was a bloodbath. Me and my buddy got crushed, and we had nothing to say back. It sucked so bad.
Yeah, it's that is the downside of the Big East tournament is when you lose, there is nowhere to hide. You are just a sitting duck. There is nowhere to hide. It's not like you lose in the NCAA tournament where it's like, oh, other fan bases are coming in, like, oh, here comes like the Richmond fans, and here comes like, like the Iowa fans. Like, no, it's here comes some fucking, fat greaseball that you've been arguing with on Twitter for 12 months. And now he's going to look you in the eye and be like, fuck you, Lab, told you they suck. Like, there's nowhere to hide. Just nowhere to hide.
Yeah, like NCAA, it's like some team who has no clue who you are or knows nothing about you. They're just excited about their game. Like, no, everybody fucking hates each other here, and everyone's going to talk shit. And this is the time where you could do it in person and not on Twitter for the first time all year. So, yeah, it's it can get nasty, man. I will tell you, if you're going to go, get ready to, like, chirp back. Because
you do. You have to. You have to be ready to, like, be uncomfortable because there's going to be a dude next to you, that you're like, say you're playing fucking Marquette. There's going to be a dude next to you that's like really fucking annoying and yelling at you. And then the game before that, you might have went and watched the UConn game. And there's going to be a ton of UConn fans around you. And guess what? They're all going to be rooting against PC. And it's like, they travel really well. So it's like, but it's so much fun. It's like nothing you've ever experienced. There's nothing like it in sports right now. But what do we got for the NCAA tournament? Do we make it? I'm saying yes. I think we're in. We're in. All right. Mac, you got us as a 1 seed in the East region or what?
Yeah, I mean it's tough to knock 30-1, double champs in the Big East. But no, I do think this team has what it takes to get to March. I think like it would take another doomsday scenario, like whether it's a major injury or a guy's sitting out, and this team is talented. Like there's no doubt about it. This team is NCAA tournament good. And like I said, you play the games for a reason. I know UConn and St. John's are the favorites preseason, but you play the games for a reason. And this Friars team's resume could look real good come March. I don't think a single digit seed is out of the question, and I think it could be a big provey year for Kim English.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you're a bubble team. I think you're in. As far as how far they go, I don't know. That's so tough. I'd love to see him in the Sweet 16. I don't know. It just depends on your path, and like who knows what the hell is going to play out this year. Again, like all this can go to shit, seeing as every team in the country is almost a brand new team with the transfer portals. Every team is new. We're going to have to see how these first couple weeks of the season play out, how some of the scrimmages play out. Who knows? But from what I see from our guys on paper and what I hear, I feel very good about it. Like Sellers talking about how this is the most gelled he's seen a team. This is the fastest he's seen a team gel. That's a big deal. People need to make a big deal about that comment. I think Kim has gotten the short end of the stick last year, especially with Bryce. That really screwed him. The whole team was centered around him. He screwed him. I think things would have been a lot differently if that went our way and he did play. So I feel really good about this year. I feel good about Kim as a coach. I feel good about him making the adjustments he needs. I think he understood what he did wrong. It was a learning experience. He's still a young coach. He's got a lot of good assistants on this staff with NBA experience. I feel really good about our strength and conditioning coach. So I'm really excited to see, where this team can go, because I think they could go pretty far.
I agree. And I don't think there's a lot of evidence out there of Kim being a bad coach. I think that he's had a really bad, draw last year. And I think that that's primarily the reason. I think he built also a bad team. I think he was, you want to talk about like identifying talent and that being important. I don't think they did a good job of that last year. And I think they'll be the first people to admit that. But that doesn't mean you're a bad coach. It just means you had some trouble identifying talent. What's the one thing that people say about this PC team this year is that talent is not going to be an issue, right? So if last year it was, well, they didn't have the talent, and the reason why maybe Kim got a lot of criticism is because he constructed a poor roster. Well, that's not the issue this year. So what is the issue? Why are we still overlooked by national media, by even some PC fans? And I think it really comes down to last year being bad, but people don't see the reasons why last year was so bad. And I think it's because, Bryce sat on his ass and took a check, and he messed up the entire dynamic, messed up the entire locker room. And I think that Kim probably will have a really nice bounce back year. And I think that they're in the dance. And I think that this show will, take off pretty well. And I think that everything's going to happen exactly how we want it to. And speaking of asses, Vladdy Jr., biggest ass in the room, puts the Blue Jays on top 2-1 with a 2-run shot. So, you just got to love it. I hope they close it out. I mean, how about that guy? He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible.
He's the new Yankee killer. He loves beating the Yankees. Would love to see this guy in a Red Sox unit. I know we got probably got a lot of listeners that are Yankee fans, so I just can't see it eye to eye with you there. So sorry about it.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's a coincidence that Devers leaves the AL East and in steps Vladdy Jr. just terrorizing the Yankees franchise.
Yeah. It's which chubby, happy Dominican guy can terrorize the Yankees more. Devers is gone, so now it's Vladdy. So
you had Poppy for however many years.
Poppy, yeah, big Poppy for sure. I mean, we've had a lot of Yankee killers. Shout out Trot Nixon. Guys just step up against the Yanks. Jackie Bradley. So, but shout out to all the Friar Yankee fans. I know that you guys were, in a lot of PC battles, PC Red Sox fans. So, we love you too. The Mets fans, you guys are struggling. Sorry, but yeah.
All right, so we sent out a tweet recently, basically just asking questions the listeners wanted answered. I think pretty good one to start off with. Donnie Mexico asked, how many fingers would you chop off for a national championship?
Give me one hand. Give me one hand free to do whatever I need to do with it. The other one you can have.
Yeah. I'd like to have two hands. I think cutting off one finger is fucking crazy. So if it took me to cut off, it had to take one, I'll do one.
So one finger for Mike. I go five fingers. I don't want the whole hand gone. Just the fingers.
Just the fangs. I mean, I'll do some crazy fucking shit for the PC to win a natty. I mean, I feel like cutting off a finger in general is enough.
I think if one is enough, then I'll do it 100%. But let me make a good point. As long as you got one hand, I think you're good. You know what I mean?
You say that now until you don't have it. Like go a day with the hand tied behind your back and come and talk to me.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Maybe both.
You still got a hand. You just have a stub, so it's like you can still use it. It's like if you're carrying.
They better put us on like a duck boat at whatever the parade they have through Providence. They better put us on a boat, a bus, a thing.
We don't know what it would be because it's never happened, sadly. But yeah, if it's
Right.
you got to think that they can make a couple calls to Woo Train to get some duckies down
There's gotta be a
95.
There's something in downtown like would go crazy. I feel
There would be a parade.
For sure.
Sorry, my dog.
No worries. Ghost of 2020 Friars asked, other than injuries, give me a reason why we failed this year.
Point guard.
Also prefaced, in my opinion, failure is not making the tournament. So, other than injuries, what could go wrong?
Point guard.
I would say big man depth.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I think what's been the Achilles heel, Kim's offense is pretty notable for creating open looks. And shout out Maggie right there if you're watching on YouTube.
She's antsy as hell.
He's like, it's my pod now. Back off.
Yeah.
Yeah, get in there.
I think Kim's offense is good for generating open looks, but hitting the shots the last 2 years has been an issue. I think if your shooters can hit shots, I don't see a world where you fail. But
Mr. Positivity, he's saying, how can they fail?
I was going to say,
how can they fail? Max just says all good things about the team.
Motherfucker! If the shots aren't falling, and you can't get consistent shot making out of certain guys, I think that's when you can kind of see things start to go south.
How can PC fail if there's no injuries? Max just like, oh, they could shoot, they're fucking handsome, our coach is good looking, the fucking best arena,
Arena's sick, fan base is awesome, good food.
Give
Fire.
6 ounces of brown liquor, and he's Mr. Positivity.
I'm jacked up. I will definitely be much more realistic come the season, but we're bringing good vibes.
I love it.
It's a season preview.
Dude,
I will say though, shot making is a concern. Like you need a go-to guy who can hit shot. Obviously, you think it's going to be Jason Edwards.
Yeah.
You hope Jalen Sellers can hit threes at a decent clip. Maybe another guy can come out of nowhere. But
Don't sleep on Harrell. He can stroke.
Yeah. I will say cracking the rotation might be tough for Harrell freshman year. But yeah, shot making, you need consistent shot making. Mike, you've talked about the free throw line. Like, you got to put the ball in the net, especially if you want to play fast.
Yep.
One guy we haven't talked about too much, I know we did the player preview last time. Sean Kelly asked, is it realistic to see Vaaks play some point by the time Big East games come into play?
It's a great question. I don't know if I have a good answer. I don't know what's going to happen with Vaaks. I think we'll find out a lot coming up here over these next couple of weeks, like Kim said, with these practices. I don't know. I'd love to see him play. I don't know what to expect.
If you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said the exact same thing Mike just said. But I will say there's been a couple things, like a couple videos that have come out of him. And, man, the kid just looks fucking unbelievable. Like, in terms of basketball skill, he's going to have a tough time adjusting to the Big East, the physicality of the Big East, all that stuff. But this kid can flat out play basketball. And I'm not sure we've ever had a more skilled incoming freshman. Just skill. I'm not talking about like all the other intangibles, size, speed, all that. Skill. Like, this kid can flat out ball. Like, he is a hooper.
Yeah, I think the social team's been pushing him. Like, a lot of clips of him. I feel like that's not for no reason. I also think we talked about it's clear who the starting five is going to be. Personally, I think the next two off the bench are going to be Davis and Hargrove.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
almost by default, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like your 7-man rotation right there. Then it's like, okay, who's the next guy or two that are next off the bench? You assume it's going to be wings, so like a Jameer Jones, maybe Vaaks fits that role. He's a bigger guy. But then you got a question like, all right, where does Miller or Barron come into play? It's going to be interesting. I think that's really what I'm looking for is that 8th, 9th guy off the bench. Like, what does that look like? Who's gonna steal that spot?
And you
I
mentioned the
agree.
social team. Huge shout out to PC Athletics, Providence men's basketball social team, the shooters. Everything looks super crispy. Everything's shot really nice. The edits are great. They post great stuff. They keep us informed. So shout out to everybody over there. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, agreed. Well said. Well said. All right, we got. Let's see. This is a good one. Will Kim use an 11-man rotation again this year? If he does, I guess he meant to say, does he cut the rotation to 7 and 8 or 7 to 8? Who are they? Well, it's not going to be 7. I can tell you that. It's definitely not going to be 7. It could be 8. That'd be light, but it's probably going to be like 10. I would say 10.
Yeah, I agree. There's just a lot of mouths to feed, man. You got to get all these guys playing time, and you also want to see how these guys play in a big moment too. You're not going to really know what you got until it's coming down to the wire here, and somebody steps up. So, yeah, the rotation could get pretty big here. I don't know for sure the number, but it could get up there.
I really hope. Maybe again, it's another thing of just being scarred from last year, but I hope it's not an 11-man rotation. I know we preach depth, but an 11-man rotation to me just screams like no one's taking these minutes when they're up for grabs.
I agree. Maybe I should have said early on. I don't think it's going to be big as the year goes on. Hopefully you figure out what you have come Big East play. I was saying maybe earlier on we might be at Mohegan and seeing a ton of guys get burned. I feel like they got to see kind of what they have here, and that's why these scrimmages are huge. Are we gonna be able to watch that Pittsburgh one? I'm assuming no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Last year, Flyer TV had something for the UMass game, I want to say. Also, Dave Colella did live stream from his courtside seats. I don't think that we're going to be able to watch that, but yeah.
Harvard will be there.
Yeah,
it says it's going to be on Friars Live. I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming they're going to be streaming this game online.
Here's the thing. If it is 10, right, because 11, I mean, you're still cutting guys, If it is 10, who's the 10? I mean, well, who's out? So how many players are on the team? What? 15? Counting Nil. So say Nil's the last man. Counting Nil, how many players on the team? Is it 15 or is it 16?
I think it's 15. And Jack Williams is another walk-on, I believe.
Yep.
Is Jack
including
playing?
Jack. Yeah, it's 15.
All right. So if you got to get down to 10, it's Jack.
Yeah, 15.
If you got to get down to 10,
Nil.
Jack Nil.
Is Pinnis going to play?
I mean, here's the thing. We just said big man depth, right? Is Hargrove and Oswin enough? I mean, you might have to have
Pinnis is 7 foot. This guy's huge. You can't teach size.
Big old Pinnis.
Dude, it's going to be tough. Mela, Barron, like these guys, yeah.
Mila will be in there.
Tough.
I think if you were to ask me right now who would get quote unquote dropped, dropped, I use that term very loosely, but it would probably be Nil, Jack, Rich Barron, Vaaks, and Harrell. And then what? You got to do one more?
Yeah. I mean Jones is a freshman, but
he's not.
He's supposed to be awesome. So I don't know if that's going to be. You want to sit him? I mean,
he's got to have a chance. If he's not good, then you can drop him. But you got to, you promised the kid playing time. I mean, he's a top 40 recruit. You promised him playing time. He's got to play.
Yeah, I totally see a world where Jameer Jones is starting by January.
I agree.
I agree. And this shows you
high ceiling.
Vaaks, it's going to be tough for him to find minutes here.
I know it is, but he might be a dog.
This is a good problem to have. I'm looking at this roster. I'm like, Kim's. He's got it tough, man.
I know.
I don't envy him for that. but it's a good problem to have, I
Remember,
guess.
there is going to be injuries. Hopefully there's no long-term injuries, but guys are going to be banged up. There might be, some of these problems do fix themselves a little bit. I mean, last year we were saying the same exact thing, and we were talking about Ryan Mila as like the last man on the board. Ryan Mila was starting against, UConn at UConn. So it's like you just don't know. You really just don't know.
Gun to my head, I think, out of the 15, the 2 walk-ons, I think Pinnis, you try to make a work in progress, like almost like a Bonk last year.
I was going to say, he'll be like Bonk.
Like work in progress. I mean, he's polished. He's played pro, but like you want to ease him into things. You have 2 guys who can kind of supplement the important minutes. So I think Pinnis, Harrell, obviously freshman. Jameer Jones also a freshman. I believe in his ceiling. And then like I hate to say it, but
Rich and Mela.
Yeah, Barron maybe some like spot minutes. I think Mela is gonna serve a little bit of purpose at the point guard. So in a perfect world, maybe a 10-man rotation, and
it'll be one of the 2. Like you'll find out more about Hargrove too, because like I'm looking at like 7-foot Pinnis, 260. This guy's huge.
Yeah,
so it'll probably end up coming down to Hargrove and him as far as who's going to get those backup minutes for center.
The Latvian ladder. John Ramus asked biggest home game of the year, and I think we can narrow it down to like 2 or 3. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that biggest home game of the year.
I'm going to say St. John's. I mean, Georgetown is still huge, and it's going to be awesome, and we're going to boo the shit out of Ed. But I think Bryce coming back, Patino, St. John's is really good. Saturday, I think that's the one.
St. John's. I really don't even think it's close. I do think Georgetown is just a big game every year. It's like that's like a big rivalry, and I love it. But I think it's St. John's this year.
I think, yeah, like you said, Leb, the Georgetown game is always going to be kind of like a staple. The St. John's game probably has more juice at face value. I would put the St. John's game, in terms of importance for the rest of the season, I would put the UConn game at home right there with St. John's. Not for like off the court, like storyline stuff, but those are the 2 best teams in the conference on paper. I think both games are going to be a good measuring stick for kind of where you stand in the conference. Obviously, there's more storylines with the St. John's game. They probably have a better chance of being the conference champs during the regular season. But I can't look past that UConn game. The regional rivalry, like people forget, man, like Dan Hurley, like up until a year and a half ago, didn't really win at the dunk. Like this is a much more competitive game than outsiders might think.
It is,
and I think that's going to be a big measuring stick for how the team looks in early January.
Yeah, no, I agree. UConn can't go wrong with UConn. All right, we got a couple more here. Poopy boy, if Kim fails to reach the tournament, does Gomes become the head coach? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, I'm gonna stick with my take from the beginning of the show. I love Ryan Gomes. Like, I would love to see him be the head coach here someday. But right now, you can't argue Kim getting these huge names, recruits on campus. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
Yeah. In a perfect world, in a couple months, we're revisiting that question and we're doing the Kanye thing where it's, I guess we'll never know.
The Kanye thing?
Like
new Kanye? Like very recent Kanye?
No, like pre-problematic Kanye.
Okay, all right.
I guess we'll never know. PC's Big East champs in a perfect world. Yeah, in a perfect world, we never have to even face that issue. I would love Ryan Gomes to be the head coach, but the Friar fan in me knows like we can't afford that to be a talking point.
No, I agree. I mean, so I don't think Gomes is ready. Like, I don't think you can hire a guy who's never coached D1 college basketball to be the coach at PC when there's so much pressure as the head coach here, Like I think it'd be kind of setting up for failure. But do I think that's intriguing? Yeah, I think homegrown guy who, is local to the area. He went here. He's the best player we've seen come out of here in a long time, and most dynamic, and he's a big name. Like, yeah, that excites me, but I just don't think he's ready yet. If they're gonna go from Kim to Gomes, it's got to be like 3-4 years down the line after Gomes is like, been on the bench for a while, seen how everything works, like done the whole thing, not just like, coming in GM for 1 year and then head coach. Like, yeah, I don't think we can do that.
Yeah. I could see it happening someday, but next year I would say no.
Yeah. I think that would be – I would actually be pretty upset if that happened. We got some funny ones. I don't know if you guys want to read those. I mean –
D's Friars said not even a question, just UConn football is bad, also fat. Well said.
Yep. True. Georgetown, actually terrorists. Georgetown, actually
Possible.
Terrorists. I love that, how that was phrased. B-hop chips, poopy taste. Well said. Not good. Don't eat the B-hop chips.
Yeah, I tried to convince myself that those were good, but looking back on it, they were chips.
They were
Chips were chips.
They were fucking.
They were das, bud. Fucking das, buddy.
Who do you think is the best?
We just don't have to.
This is a good one. Sorry, Mac. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say we don't have to pretend to like them.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're dust, buddy. They're chips. Philly Burners. Who do you think has the best chance of scoring a triple double this season? I think this is a phenomenal question because if you look at this team, I think there are like a bunch of walking triple doubles. Besides, like, all right, like, Edwards is probably the best scorer, but I think he's not even going to come close.
I would say Sellers.
Okay, I don't hate that. What's the three? So the traditional rebounds, assists, points.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the first, and I don't know if it's going to happen this year, but it might happen next year. The first Daquan Davis steals, assists, points, triple double. It's going to just feed families.
It's going to hit like crack.
Yeah, it'll hit like crack. I think even a guy like they got so many guys like Jameer could do that. Like kind of like guys that play positionless basketball, Like Duncan Powell could probably do something like that. Best chance this year, I'm going to say Corey Floyd, best chance.
Maybe it's the insanely irrational Luka comparisons.
Yeah, I think I like where you're going with this.
If Vaaks gets some serious minutes, like he's a big guy who can play point guard, traditional points, rebounds, assists, like it's the Eastern European in him where it's like, all right, this guy could probably do it all.
Yeah, I love that.
Obviously, you'd like to see him on the court first, but yeah, like a finesse, bigger point guard type of build. Yeah, Vaaks is my dark horse for sure.
I would say he's like sneakiest to triple double. That's the thing. Like, are the minutes going to be there for the triple double? That's the question.
Yeah,
but skill set wise, yeah, the guy can definitely do it all for sure. All right, good stuff. Anything else? You got any other questions you want to rattle off here?
No, we got outside of the questions, we got a little state of the program here. If we wanted to run that.
Oh, from Mr. Conflicted.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, fire it up.
All right, so we got a state of the program from most people know Mr. Conflicted, Corey Floyd's uncle. We know him as Unc. Just wanted to get his thoughts on the upcoming season, so I figure we'd, as we wrap up the episode, hear from Unk.
Shout out, Unc.
What's up, Friar Town? It's your favorite Unk from LA, baby. Hey, Divine Providence, my man. Hey, thanks for having me on. You guys know I'm not on socials this year. Just want to enjoy the season, stress-free. But anyway, I'm super excited about the team this year. I love the additions that Kim English brought in. I think we can hit teams from all over the floor. I mean, I think we had great jump shooting with Jalen Sellers and Duncan Powell. Rich Barron, if he comes back, give us a great year from the field. I love what Jalen Harrell can do off the bounce in terms of his shooting. And Jameer Jones might be the most athletic kid I've seen in 10 years. I think he's a burgeoning superstar. If we can get Ryan Miller to knock down some jumpers this year to go along with what he already does well, I'm a big Ryan Miller fan. I'm not too sure about the 7'1" gentleman. I think it's Pederis. But if we can get anything out of him, if he can walk and chew bubblegum, we're going to have a great season with him. And I heard that Oswin is much improved. I'm hoping that his touch around the rim has gotten better because that kid has like a 600-foot vertical leap as far as I'm concerned. I'm very excited about Cole Hargrove and Duncan Powell. I mean, that's like, two yeomen under the basket, hard hat wearing guys, construction workers. I think I was told that Cole Hargrove is 6'8", 250 pounds. It's like a mini Karl Malone. And I love the way he can score the basketball. And Duncan Powell, he just nasty. I just like him, just the way he looks. And his game is nice on top of that. So I think we're not going to have the droughts that we had this past year. Now, did I see Kim putting the ball in my nephew's hands as the PG? I didn't, because I didn't know who the other PGs was coming in. And by the way, I love Daquan Davis. He will be all Big East defensive this year, and he is the future PG of Providence College moving forward. But I actually like the idea of Corey having the ball because he's a pass-first guy. He's shown that he can handle the ball. I worked him out a few times this summer. His handle's really tight. And I think most importantly, Kim wants a big point guard. Corey's almost 6'5", 208 pounds of muscle. He told me this is the strongest he's ever felt in all his years of college. And I think he's going to surprise some people with what he can do actually running the show. But I also would like to see my nephew get some reps on the wing as well, so he can also punish people with his body and his athleticism. But I just think that we're going to be able to, if we can just stay healthy, guys, we're going to have a great year. Just bottom line. I'm putting that out there. I'm expecting 20-plus wins this year. I'm expecting to be in the top 4 in the Big East this year. Let's just pray that everybody stays healthy, and let's just pray that if that happens, man, we're going to have a great year. I look forward to seeing you guys at the AMP. God bless.
There he is, Unk. The Unction. Mac, you're muted.
Great.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Good,
Shout out to Unk.
Shout out, Unk.
Yeah, he was kind enough to send us a voice memo. Give listen, a little look behind the curtain. Obviously, super close with our PG1. Little look behind the curtain. Obviously, he's optimistic. There's no reason we shouldn't be optimistic. I've been insanely fucking optimistic for about 2.5 hours of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on what Unk had to say?
Well, one thing that stood out to me, right? This is a guy who, knowing him and reading his tweets, he has historically criticized Kim pretty openly, especially last year. He was heavy, especially like when everyone was kind of criticizing Kim. But I felt that his words had a little more weight because he's, the uncle of someone that's in the program, and he is a basketball coach, right? So, I mean, this is a guy who does know his stuff. He is a basketball coach. So I think that if he's positive, and I mean, like, pretty much the theme of what we were talking about with the depth was echoed in his voice memo there. Like, he's going through all the guys, and just the list never ends. Like,
right.
They have so many guys. I mean, Rich Barron put up 29 points at Butler last year. He's probably the third to last man off the bench right now. I love Rich, but that's probably the facts, right? Like, man, this team's just so deep and intricate. So, yeah, we'll see, man. I loved it. Shout out, Unk.
Shout out, Unk. Guys are just a ball knower, plain and simple. And I like he said with Jameer Jones, like we haven't talked much about him. Well, we have, but we still don't know too much about him. This kid could really just blow doors and end up just being a part of the starting lineup this year. From what people are saying about how athletic this kid is, like he could be special. Like we don't even know what we have yet with him.
Yeah. His ceiling is all Big East first team right this year. Right away, all Big East first team, that's his ceiling. Like a Jeremiah Fears type. Realistically, probably not going to happen, but he can do that.
Leb, I kind of liked your point about how Unk was very opinionated about how last season went. So he's proven he's not someone who's going to sugarcoat it. No. And, so to hear him be optimistic, he's been in on practices this offseason and said these guys are running a lot and they have the athletes to do it. You got to be optimistic. This team is promising, and I just can't wait for the season to get started. I don't want to go on another tangent like I did last episode, but I'm just looking for the words to communicate how excited I am to see this team take the court.
Me too. Well said. Well said.
Me too.
Anything else we got before we wrap up here? I think that this is a long episode. I think we covered a lot.
Friar.
Blue Jays. 6-1 Blue Jays.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's 6-1.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's.
I'll see any of you fine folks at Bally's coming up for the season ticket holder party. Hopefully, see some of you beautiful folks there.
Yeah.
What's that? October 22nd?
Yeah. Yep.
Say hi. Say what up. What up?
What up?
Say Friar.
Say Friar. Go Friars. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around this very long episode. We really appreciate it. And it's going to be an unbelievable year. We're super, super pumped.
Go Friars.
Go Friars. Love y'all.